morning, friends. Hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. Today we had no specific plan until about 8 o'clock last night, and so I forgive you if you're here like, what is she even doing today? I don't even know, because I only posted it to social media and didn't even bother to post it when I was like, oh yeah, I'm running half an hour late. So yeah, we're making triple ginger cookies today, because I need more treats, and honey soy garlic baked chicken wings, because we had 2 packages of chicken wings in our freezer and I need to make some space. So yeah, so we're doing that today. Let's say hello to folks and friends. Pro Ninja, hi. Congratulations on arriving first. Ashwinder, hello. I'm glad you can catch some too. Hope you're doing well. Baker says, oops, on the bad timing of my message, not bad. You all have no idea what Baker is talking about, but I got a DM and I went, oh, hey, good morning, Baker, in my head, but I didn't say it in my fingers because I was live and kind of rushing around doing last minute things, but no need to apologize. The morning wishes are always welcome. Um, Hi, Brig. I'm not a chef. I've never been a chef. I'm not going to be a chef. Oh, my kitchen is on fire. My kitchen is always on fire, Ashwinder. Um, add only 3 gingers, rookie numbers, SMH. Wait, you have more than 3 gingers in your kitchen, Ash? This is just how today's gonna go, I guess. Um, I yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just here in my kitchen doing the cooking. It was actually fun. My hair was like kind of cute and curly, and then like all the curls fell out, and I don't really know why. I didn't really. Anyway, whatever. Um. Hello, professional streamer. That is probably more accurate, seeing as it's misspelled. Um. I just God, I wish. I mean, yeah, me too, actually. Not really, though. Actually, that just sounds complicated and potentially messy. Um, so I I what did I do with my recipes? I know I grabbed them. Oh, I put them on the sofa. Why did I do that? That's not going to do me any good. I am, however, going to actually jump right into things today. Not because I'm concerned about getting everything done, but because the timing of this is kind of shitty. The timing is a little awkward today. So I'm gonna like, just because things need to like marinate and bake and refrigerate, and there's like a whole thing. And so I'm gonna actually get started on some stuff. Um, okay, including the triple and ginger cookies, because they have to sit in a refrigerator for 2 hours. That's a long time. Okay, well, whatever. Um, uh, ooh, uh. Baker says you're trying. It's what's appreciated. I'm trying. Brig is trying, all right. I don't agree with that. Luna, hello. Good morning. It's so good to see you. Baker says, wait, so she doesn't want to yap with us for 2 hours before we start? Sag. Oh, I do. I do want to do that. Um, I uh just as a reminder, any representations of Pepe are not allowed in my chat. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. Okay, thank you. I was trying to line it up. No harm, no foul. But just as a reminder that members of our community find those emotes triggering, as a result of having been used in hate raids over the years on Twitch. They just don't like that little cartoon guy. They just find it difficult. So I know. In a lot of places it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal here. Just please don't. And we'll go ahead and get those blocked. But thank you. Um, Ichiro, good morning. Hello. Or wherever it is. Good time zone. I'm not sure where you are. Hi. Hello. Night Captain Andrew says, was working on my recipe for crawfish mac and cheese yesterday, and the sauce evolved beyond a cheese sauce into its own identity, renaming the recipe to cheesy crawfish bisque with options for pasta and rice variants. Okay, that sounds amazing. Wait, did you catch the crawfish yourself? Yeah, that does sound delicious. Oh, you're from Tokyo. Oh, so it's definitely not morning there. Unless it's like one of those situations where it's accidentally morning because it's past midnight. But hello and welcome. Nice to meet you. Um right. So, triple ginger cookies. This is what we're doing. Okay, so let me start grabbing some things while I talk. So you guys, it's been an exciting few days. I don't know how else to I don't know hold on. I have to figure out where to put this bread flour because it's in my way. I'm just going to put it over here. Um it's been an exciting few days. I guess we kind of talked yesterday a little bit, but like yesterday was a very quiet stream day. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stick the flour just here for a second, and then grab the ginger, one of the gingers anyway, and uh so yesterday was a quiet stream. I played Hello Kitty Island Adventures because we had been out really late the night before. We went to see a band play at Wolf Trap, which is the national park for the performing arts here. And they're a band called Pink Martini, and they do kind of like retro lounge style music. The cool thing is that they have songs in 30 different languages, which is just really neat. A lot of it's Spanish, Portuguese, and French, which I think is probably the lead singer's kind of wheelhouse. But they have people from all over. So like they have like their Congo player is from Cuba. They have a singer who's from Los Angeles but is of Japanese ancestry, and he does songs in Japanese. I mean, it's very cool. It's a very cool like multicultural like band, and they're so talented, amazingly talented musicians, and we just had such a good time. But we were out really really late, and so I did something very chill yesterday. But like not everybody is like into the like chill cozy games. So I know that a lot of people didn't hear how amazing this band was. Pink Martini, look them up. Um, Ichiro says it's 12:09 a.m. here, so indeed accidentally morning. Perfect, amazing. Luna says yes, the accidentally morning. Saw pictures for that this morning. Yes, yeah, I took some pictures. I took some video even of the band. Ichiro says I could eat something bad. Food poisoning sucks. Food poisoning sucks for sure. I'm sorry. I hope you recover quickly. Luna says that sounds fun. It was so much fun. We had such a good time. Yeah, it was really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to continue to gather ingredients because these have to go in the fridge, and they've got to be in the fridge for 2 hours, which is why that's just like a long time. So, we need to make sure that we are moving apace here with our baking soda and our salt and our brown sugar. So after our big exciting day on Tuesday where we went to the concert, then on Wednesday, that was yesterday, Wednesday, I got a chance to go and meet Grog's co-workers who I hadn't met before. So that was cool. That was fun and cool and amazing. Why is there salted butter here? I am confuzzled. I am perplexed. I am a perplexed bean. Right, so there's this. Is this salted or unsalted? And how would I know without tasting it? Why is this just in there? Half a stick of butter. Anyway. Ichiro says I'm a chef, so it wasn't my cooking. Well, I hope not. I hope not. Although you can't always control, like, what someone else has done to an ingredient, right? Even as a chef. I know around here, and I don't know if it's the same in Japan, but like around here, a lot of the time food poisoning is based on like raw lettuce. I mean, I'm not really super familiar with the details of the Japanese diet, so I don't know if that's even something that you folks eat. But here, a lot of the time it's traced to like salmonella in raw lettuce, which you wouldn't cook ever. So and there's no, like, you can't wash it out. It's just, it's like in the lettuce as it grows. So, I mean, getting bad lettuce is just kind of like the luck of the draw, I guess. Wiggly says, hey, I love ginger. I'm so excited. I love listeria. Maybe it's listeria. That might be right. It might be listeria. You could be right. I might be misspeaking. Briggs says there's a rise in the incidence of E. coli in the UK from leafy green salad items. Maybe it's E. coli. I don't know. I thought it was salmonella, but I guess I'm wrong. Which is fine. I'm happy to be wrong. Lassie says, did you get the refrigerator camera set up? No, I didn't. Okay, so, right. So flour, ginger, baking soda, salt, brown sugar, unsalted butter, molasses. Ooh, we're actually kind of low on molasses. I should probably add that to the grocery list. She says, and then does not add it to the grocery list. And then an egg, which, I'm going to pull out now so that it has a chance to warm up a little bit. It's time for antibiotics. Oh no, you very seriously did get food poisoning. You even got a prescription for it. Jeez. Wiggly says, I love an intense ginger cookie. The Trader Joe's used to have these cookies that were super intense, and I love them so much. They don't have them. You also said hello, but I ignored that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. I think I said, didn't I say hi, Lassie? I'm pretty sure I did. I could be wrong. You'll be fine. I hope so. Okay, so I've got my crystallized ginger out. Half a cup of chopped crystallized ginger. That's so much, but luckily I have so much crystallized ginger, so it's okay. And then 1.5 tablespoons of fresh ginger root. I'm going to use the paste stuff, which is fine. Okay, excellent. Whisk flour, ginger, baking soda, and salt together in a bowl. Easy peasy. Grab a bowl and some measuring cups. Yep, just getting all of these things into the refrigerator so that it has a chance to chill. We're doing 1 2 1/4 cups of flour. Wheelie says, I don't think so. They were shaped like cats, and I haven't found them in a long time. Yeah, they do change things out sometimes, I think. And a lot of the things that I didn't necessarily realize, like, they have some weird things that are seasonal. Like, their watermelon cucumber juice that I really like is only available for a short time in, like, late May, early June. But, like, you can't tell me you can't get, like, enough watermelon to make watermelon cucumber juice for the whole year. But I guess they must have just, like, assessed and decided that, like, people only want that when it's hot. I don't really get it. All right, 1/4 cup of flour. Okay. And then Lassie says, maybe I ignored you. Who knows at this point? Yeah, we could just ignore each other, Lassie. It's fine. Protein just says it sounds like a lot of ginger. It's a lot of ginger. It's going to be very gingery. Wiggly doesn't go there super often, so I don't know. Briggs says, don't eat too much ginger lest you get gingeritis. Wiggly says, once upon a time they had a spicy candy bar that popped in your mouth, and they haven't had that in years. I feel like popping candy had a moment. Had like a snack moment. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like how for a while everything had sriracha in it. And now, like, things still sometimes have sriracha in them, but, like, it was like a whole cultural thing. Popping candy was a thing. Like, there's I think Mast chocolate bars out of Brooklyn had one that was a popping candy chocolate bar. So I feel like they're also subject to culinary trends for sure. Anyway, so yesterday I went to Dave & Buster's with my husband and his coworkers. I had never been to Dave & Buster's before, which is like, oops, for those of you who who are not in the US. It's basically like a chain arcade situation. I think it was, I kind of was under the impression that it was like geared for adults. There's like a bar and restaurant, but like it was all kids. Like, I mean, there were some adults there, like, because obviously it was my husband and his coworkers, but like it was very kid. So I think over the years maybe that's changed, or maybe they had like different, I don't know, like different rules or something for different times of day. I don't know. I was under the impression that it was more of an adult establishment than it turned out to be. But that was okay. That was okay. Um, uh, Wiggly says, I know there's a lot of spicy chocolate out there, but I haven't found a new one. Chris, oh my God, hi. Now everything has gochujang in it. Yeah, exactly. Good morning. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, there's just like, I love how, especially when like other folks like cultural foods, and when I say love, I mean love how other folks' cultural foods become culinary trends in the United States. Just like, and then suddenly you get people, especially white chefs, pronouncing that gochujang is so over. It's so 2020 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? When like actually it's just actually like a really basic staple. Nobody pronounces ketchup over. Do you know what I mean? It's just a little bit racist. Um. Anyway, so Brig has never met Dave or Buster. Um, Wiggly says it's pretty kid friendly up until a certain time. I think later in the evening it's adults only. Ah, I see. That's not what I meant, Brigitte. Oh my God. Wiggly says Chuck E. Cheese is about to open some adult locations. Night Captain Andrew says the current generation of kids have been deprived of arcades. Perhaps what you saw at Dave and Buster's suggests there's still a demand for arcades among kids. Yeah, I would think. Because there were a lot of kids there. And like but although I wouldn't say that the games that I wouldn't say that the games were particularly specifically kid oriented. Like one of the things that I was a little bit surprised by was that like I would say a solid third of them were like either like scrape the money out of the machine, claw games, and like full on slot machines. I was really surprised by that. And then like another third were like I would call like physical games. Do you know what I mean? There were things like basketball toss or like baseball throwing or like I mean skee ball you expect to see probably I think in an arcade. Um, and then really only like a third of the games were video games. And I think the thing that's a little bit like weird about it is that like when I was growing up, right, you would get like even a fairly like standard like bowling alley arcade would have like a couple dozen machines, right? Because they're relatively compact. They're like the size of a refrigerator. Do you know what I mean? Or like even smaller, like smaller actually. And they would have like pinball and you know that kind of thing. And there was an air hockey table. We didn't do it. We didn't do that. I wanted to, but they were full. Um, and and so I kind of feel like, and now like the actual video games, they were two people wide, and like super deep, and I guess to accommodate kind of like a rumble seat situation, but like I don't know, it wasn't really like giving as much immersion as I think they intended, and really it just kind of takes up that much space for no reason. And so I was just kind of like I don't know, like it was cool, I enjoyed it, but it was a little weird. um Wiggly grew up going to bowling alley arcades. Yeah, so did I. um it's going to be called Chuck's Arcade. Is it really? Oh my God, arcade bars are pretty popular around here now. Yeah, I think we might actually have a couple of those too. Pixie, hi. Hello, good morning. Ashwinder says air hockey. Air hockey is really fun. There's a free play arcade I haven't gone to in too long. Lassie says bring toddlers to arcade. You can buy stuff for you to support the business, but a toddler can be entertained for at an arcade for $0. Really? Because like it was pretty expensive. It cost us like $7 to play like one round, or like I think that's right. It was like 350 per play. It's like $7 for us to play one round of Mario Kart. So like, and like I mean, and it was like free to me, right? Because my husband had put a bunch of money on a card, and so I don't even know what anything cost. But I was just like, I I had fun, right? Like I had fun. Like I had a good time at the thing. I had fun. We played. I beat my husband at Mario Kart, even though I never played before. He beat me at Space Invaders. He got way, 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 way higher um, uh, um, point values on Space Invaders than I did. We tied at skee ball, which is wild because I've always been a really good skee ball player. But these were like little short lanes. I don't know. It was weird. Like my aim was all off. Um, Lassie says that's because you're actually playing the game. A toddler doesn't know they're actually not playing. Toddlers don't know that you paid for them to play. Yeah, that's really funny. Okay, so I've got flour and ginger in this bowl. We need to keep going. I need to keep going because this dough has to go in the fridge. So I can't just stand here and talk about video game arcades forever. Anyway, so I think my basic thing was that like I did have a good time and I wouldn't mind finding like an arcade, like another kind of arcade to play, but I don't know that I would necessarily specifically attempt to replicate the Dave and Buster's experience. Do you know what I mean? Like I like it was fun. It was fun, but it was expensive and it was like I don't know, I kind of wanted more video games. Like we ended up playing this one the only shooter that we could find that wasn't like Halo was and I think Halo was like the only shooter like that. There were a couple of zombie shooters. Was this dinosaur one? So this is Jurassic Park one. So the Jurassic Park one was actually funny. Like you get into the little like cab and you shoot dinosaurs. And I enjoyed that enough that I went looking for a game, like a PC game where you could just, just absolutely run around and have just no compunction about just shooting dinosaurs. It was absolutely mindless. There was no strategy to it. It was just aim and shoot the dinosaur. And I was like, that actually sounds like fun, but like, what else is like that? Because I went and I looked for like Jurassic Park games, and the Jurassic Park games are all like side scrolling or action adventure where you have to escape the island or park building or whatever. I couldn't find one that was just literally like this. I think it was made by Sega, but this like 2015 arcade version of get in the seat and shoot the dinosaurs. There's just nothing that simple. Chris says just let them sit at the wheel and let him go nuts on the demo. Oh, that's funny. Lassie says so you should definitely pay some to support the business, but the toddler can go for hours and you don't have to keep paying. That's true. Chris says a cooking stream being delayed, unheard of. Oh my god. Oh my god, you have no idea. Like the number of times where I haven't actually touched a drop of food in the first hour is a lot. It's a lot. It's more than I would care to admit. Wiggly says, now I kind of want to take my wife to the arcade bar here that sells pizza by the slice. That sounds actually fun. Ash says the barcade I know. I think you have to present ID to get in, and that it's $10 cover and the games are free. And then it's a mix of stuff, but a lot of retro, Pac-Man, Galaga, Pinball, DDR. See, and that's what I wanted. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I wanted. So I actually wanted to play Ms. Pac-Man, but like the only way to play Ms. Pac-Man was at this like multi-game console thing, and you sat down at the thing and the screen was like the size of my window. Like it's the size of my entire like kitchen wall, which you guys can see the one behind me. This is the size of my kitchen wall. And I was like, that doesn't look fun. Like I want the old school style where you like use a joystick and you're looking down at the table, you know what I mean? Get your pizza off to the left, only I wanted a beer to go with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just like, yeah, I don't, it's not the Ms. Pac-Man experience I was looking for. Briggs says, fun fact, if you do 100% of the old Jurassic Park games, Jeff Goldblum turns up and turns you a stinky wastrel with no life who needs to touch grass. Okay, so exactly what would it cost me to buy all of the Jurassic Park games, and how long would it take me to play through them? Because I feel like that would be a long time, and that would be definitely worth it to have Jeff Goldblum turn up just to tell me that I'm stinky and I should touch grass. Not actually joking. Ashley, they saw that multiplayer when it's weird. I'm sure there is. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that you're right. I'm sure there is an arcade like that by us. We should look because honestly, it was fun. And if it were like a situation like yours with a $10 cover and the games are free and then I could have a beer or whatever, that would be peak. That would be top tier. I would 100% go for that. Chris says we appreciate the care you put into paying attention to us. You are very welcome. Lassie says my 3-year-old nephew had fun at mini golf as well. They let him play for free. He was enjoying it, but then he face planted and didn't want to play anymore. Oh no, baby. Briggs says, look, if you want me to find the clip that's in the game, I can. What?
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
Dana, hi. Hello, Raiders. How are you? Thanks for the shout out. Red Blue Metal. Oh, blued red metal. Oh my gosh, I just completely read that entirely wrong. Hello, good morning or afternoon, I suppose, probably for most of you. Freckled, hi, hello, good morning or afternoon or whatever it is. I'm not sure where Dana is right now. Yes, what's your favorite dinosaur? We're talking about Jurassic Park video games at the moment. And I swear I'm making cookies. I swear. If one of you, if Kit Kat, P.S. Hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good time zone. How are things? So it looks like Dana was doing food and drink. If you are either Dana or a chatter of Dana's and you want to let us know what she was doing today. I don't know if she had to like peace out really fast. Sometimes that happens. So after stream, you gotta kind of raid and run. But hi, hello, welcome. For those of you who don't know, who are in my community who don't know Dana, Dana's a terrific food and drink streamer. Splits her time between Europe and Canada, and just makes generally like just really interesting and typically health conscious in one way or another recipes. And so it's just a really good follow for folks and friends who like the cooking. If you haven't met me yet, hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. We do both cooking and gaming here on this channel. I cook a couple of days a week, baking and other things. I'm a former professional pastry cook. And so I focus a lot on that just kind of naturally, but I also have to eat. And so we do things like chicken wings and that kind of stuff, which is what we're doing today. And then I also play Fortnite. So if you're also into the gaming, you can come on days when we're either playing Fortnite in the mornings or playing Fortnite together. And then sometimes single player games as well. So hello and welcome. Wiggly says I'm not a raider. Can I say my fave? You absolutely can. You can. Lassie says, look, face planting as a small child builds character. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, Blued Red Metal says, Dana lost power in Romania, so I had to stop early. Oh, heckin' hex. Oh, no. I hate that. I hate it when that happens. I hate it when tech interferes. But at least now we know she was in Romania. She made sweet paste with mashed beans, then piped some flowers for a cake. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a good time. Well, thanks for reporting back, and I'm sorry that she was having power issues. But hi, welcome to here. We're happy to have you. Sad that Dana had to run, but that I hope you're having a good day. Okay, Lassie says if you came in this raid expecting more food and drink, you might not get it here. Lassie, we're doing it. Look, there's flour. There's flour and baking soda and ginger in there. We're doing it. It's a thing. Wiggly says he didn't realize I was professional former pastry. Like my wife does mostly pastry. Yeah. Yep, that was what I did. Briggs says Ankylosaurus familam. That is I don't think that's a real dinosaur. Wiggly says my favorite dinosaur is Ankylosaurus. Y'all are so funny. How I don't have a favorite dinosaur. Okay, beat butter and brown sugar in a large bowl with an electric mixer until smooth and creamy. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. Oh, the half a teaspoon of salt. Hold on. Let me get the half a teaspoon of salt in there before I forget. Can't believe you quoted that. Yeah, I cosplayed as a pastry professionally. That's me, just constantly dressing up as a chocolate croissant. All right, brown sugar. 1 cup of brown sugar. All right, so this is what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to have to soften this butter, but we're going to figure that out in a second. First of all, first of all, actually, let me just wipe the flour out of this real quick. We are being efficient. I mean, for me, we're efficient. We just started stream half an hour late. It's fine. All right, 1 cup of brown sugar. Doop. Gonna need more light brown sugar too. You know what? I need to write these things down or I'm gonna forget. So, let's do this. Let's do this. Remind me, add brown sugar and molasses to the grocery list. Nice. Briggs says also I can think of worse things to dress up as than a chocolate croissant. Let's not provide any examples. Pixie says my favorite creature from the late Cretaceous period is a dinosuchus. I don't know anything about dinosaurs, you guys. I was talking about shooting them. I have no other appreciation for dinosaurs. Okay, we need a cup. We need 3/4 of a cup, which means that we have half a cup here, and then we have 1/4 of a cup here. These are 2 different size sticks, so this is throwing me off. But this is 3/4 of a cup, so now I just need to soften it. Oh my goodness. I think it's just that like math uses a different part of my brain than following chat does, and so sometimes things don't work out. All right. Butter and brown sugar. Okay, cool. So now we just need to, finish softening the butter, and then we can get these things into the mixer. All right, fantastic. We're doing great. It was a giant roided out crocodilian. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty badass. The game, I think, mostly had us shooting at flying things that weren't actually dinosaurs at first. And then in order to keep playing, you had to put more money in, which I was kind of like, this is fine, but it's kind of silly. And so I kind of feel disinclined to spend more money on this. I would have liked to have kept playing if it were free, but I wasn't interested in continuing to play. And then when I looked it up online, because I was like, is there like an actual like PC or like console game or whatever that this is based on? The thing that I found was a Reddit post being like, what would it have cost in 2015 to beat Jurassic Park, whatever it was called? And I was like, oh no, that does not bode well. Game over. Please deposit 40 quarters. Also, hi, Jane. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Ash says dinosaurs are just shitty dragons. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. My Dinner with Andre, the arcade game? What are you talking about? What are you people talking about? Do I even want to know? All right, creaming butter and sugar. This is a thing. I feel like I'm doing really well. I feel like I'm staying on task today. This is probably completely delusional, and I don't care. All right, I gotta scrape down the mixer. This is very annoying. All right. Okay. The Waterworld arcade game. There was a Waterworld arcade game. You know what's funny about that movie? it was widely panned, right? Like everybody was like, that was a terrible movie. That was so bad. And then, so my dad and I, we used to see a lot of movies when I was a teenager. There were a lot of things that we didn't see eye to eye on when I was a kid. And so like, but like Starbucks Frappuccinos and movies were two things that we agreed on. So basically my entirety of my teenage relationship with my father kind of like rested on that. And we went and saw Waterworld together, and we were walking out of the movie theater, and we were like, everybody said that was bad, but that actually wasn't as bad as everyone says it was. Like, I didn't think that was bad. And we both kind of agreed that it was like not that bad. Um, Jane is having an entire day and I'm very sleepy. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Jane. Lassie says this implies dragons once were real. Well, of course dragons were real. Briggs says, Wiggles, thank you for making my bad afternoon more bearable. I love that people laugh at Briggs jokes because mostly I just roll my eyes. Ashwinder says, did I mention I got a new job? What that means for schedule, I have no clue, but hopefully more regular schedule. I saw that in your Discord. I don't know if you mentioned it here, but I did know, but I did know that you got a new job. So congratulations. Ashwinder loves Frappuccinos. I haven't had one in years, honestly. Although the other day, so Grog bought me canned espresso. Like canned espresso with cream that doesn't actually have a lot of sugar in it. I was surprised. And I threw it in the blender with a bunch of ice cubes, and I made myself kind of a frappuccino-esque situation, and it was very good. But the frappuccinos themselves have gotten to be too sweet, I think, for me. Briggs says Waterworld was not as bad as they made out. Agreed. This is what I'm saying. It just wasn't as bad as everyone said it was. Twin Bowers, good morning. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Ash says, yeah, dragons are real. You just don't believe. Yeah. Ashwinder says, hopefully the neighborhood isn't too scary. Oh, so it's like a job you actually go to. Okay. Got it. Well, I hope that does work out better for your schedule. I mean, both from the perspective of like having you around and also from the perspective of you actually being able to stream, since I know you've had to cancel a lot lately. Because of stinky job nonsense. Stinky. People expecting you to work. Stinky. Uh-oh. My earbud just fell out. All right. There is my butter and sugar cream together. That should be fine. Briggs says, imagine failing a vibe check on one special day. Have I missed something? Lassie says, in Lassie news, Lassie has stopped watching the WNBA. Lassie, no! I actually saw my first WNBA game ever yesterday when we were at Dave & Buster's. They had a WNBA game, and I got to see Angel Reese for the first time ever. I was like, oh, so that's Angel Reese. That's who Lassie talks about. Right, am I adding the molasses and the egg? Mix in egg and molasses together. Okay, so we need a 1/4 cup of molasses. All right, so here's how we're going to do this, friends. Here is how we're going to do this. We're going to wipe off this. And then we're going to take, where is my cooking spray? Here it is. There. Ash says it's Aldi, the one company in the world apparently that accommodates people with foot pain. Ah, cool. Lassie says they did for a while too, because busy all-star parties were amazing though. This is actually more liquid than I would have anticipated. Usually molasses takes forever to come out. Oh, Wiggly says I've never actually seen Waterworld. I just know the arcade game joke from The Simpsons. Wiggly says I finished Death Stranding, so it no longer has an intense hold on me. What did you think in general, with no spoilers? Because I still haven't seen the end. Did it continue to live up to your expectations? Lassie says, I'm sorry Dave and Buster showed you that. So Lassie, what did the WNBA do? What's the problem? This is taking forever. But we're so close to having a quarter cup. Lily says, no, I haven't ever cried playing a game, but I have a lot of feelings with my mouth hanging open. I felt really sad, melancholy during games, but never had actual tears. And when it ended, I had to go lay down and just think about life. It was really good. Now I want to play the second one, but it's only on PS5. Oh, is it still? It's got to be soon though, right? Like I feel like Forbidden West came out after like what? Like 18 months maybe? We got to be getting close, right? Oh, it just came out in June. Oh. Just came out in June. Gosh. It must just be that it's an eternity in like in Twitch / games journalism / social media land or whatever. Because I felt like it really came out a lot earlier than that. And I assume you don't have a PS5. You're a PC gamer, right? Predicted to come to PC in February. Okay, okay. Good. Well, I mean, at least it'll be, soon. The only thing is like that I need just a little bit more, and I can get it. I just have to stick a thing in here. Give me a second to get this. Just a little bit more. That was really the dregs of that molasses jar. All right. Now, let me grab this. And now, okay, you know what? Well, let's just use this. Things like it doesn't like slide right out when you spray it, but like it's much like you can see it's like much easier than if you don't. Otherwise it's just going to stick like it's stuck to the side of the jar, This is better. Okay. Now, mixing the molasses and the egg with the butter and the brown sugar. All right, I gotta scrape this down again. So the one problem with having a 7-quart mixer, like I do love it. I love the size of the motor and the size of the bowl and stuff for like doubling Christmas cookie recipes and doing like bread and that kind of thing. But like there's some things like this recipe is just not a large recipe. And so like when you're only sticking like 3/4 of a stick of butter in here, it's just like you're constantly scraping down the bowl just because it's not like filling the bowl enough. 2 thumbs down. I was so excited for the size of the motor that it didn't occur to me that most like recipes that are designed for home bakers are just like not large enough to fill the bowl. Okay. Cool. Okay, Wiggly's is mostly PC. Yes, we have a PS4, Switch, and several older consoles, but not any of the newest. Wait, that's what she said? What did I say? Oh no. Lassie says the officiating is terrible. It pisses me off too much to watch. Oh no. I'm really sorry that the officiating ruined it for you, because I know how much you were loving it. Okay. Crystallized ginger, fresh ginger. All right, 1/2 cup. This is so much. This is so much crystallized ginger. Okay, let me get a 1/2 cup. I don't have one here. Why are all of our 1/2 cups dirty? I don't understand. Luckily, I think this is, I think the dishwasher is clean. All right. All right. Crystallized ginger and a knife. Were they being inefficient. I need to push a button for Brigitte, but I'm gonna finish estimating my my ginger first. Let's start with that and see where that gets us. My hair is driving me nuts today. It's driving me nuts. Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? My hair's driving me nuts. Give me just a second. I don't know if it's like static or what, but like I just washed it. And sometimes after I've just washed it, it goes just like, it's not frizzy exactly. It just goes like fluffy. It's just like it's got so much body right after I've washed it that I'm just like, and I put my hands in my hair, so I just have to wash my hands. But like, I can't keep it out of my face. It's driving me crazy. Okay. All right. So now got our half cup here. And I'm just going, you know what, I need to dry my hands a little bit better because this is going to be sticky if I don't. Okay. The only problem with crystallized ginger is that I can't really like put it in like a food processor. I mean, you can, but like it'll kind of gum up the works. So I'm just gonna cut up a bunch of them this way. And then run the knife through it this way. Which is actually not bad. We actually used to make a version of this cookie at work when I worked in the bakery. And having to cut up enough for like a small home batch of this is one thing, but like when even the industrial food processor didn't do a particularly good job on the crystallized ginger, it just kind of turned it into paste. We had to cut them up by hand, and the thing that sucked about that was that then you're cutting up enough for a 40-quart mixer. That's a lot of crystallized ginger. It takes forever. Also, my knife skills are not like chef knife skills, they're baker knife skills. Thank you for the treat, Lassie. Believe it or not, I have a treat ready to go. You could probably see it actually, just the edge of it. We went to, when we went to the concert on Tuesday, we stopped at Whole Foods on our way to pick up treats and bottles of water because we weren't actually sure that you were allowed to bring in like open containers. It turns out you were, and so we could have just brought water bottles, but we didn't. So we stopped to get like bottles of water because we don't really keep like bottled water in the house. And the other thing that we wanted to get was some good treats because I hadn't made treats in a while, and we had nothing except like chocolate covered pretzel Oreos, which are my current favorite packaged treat. We got these cookies from, and I think I've talked about this before, the person who made our wedding cake was just starting her business when we got married in 2010. And over time has grown into a much, much, much larger company, and now sells her cookies, at least in local, in our local Whole Foods. I don't know to what extent that's just local, but they're whisked. I think it's whiskeddc.com is their website. You can actually buy stuff from them online too. And so I have a salty oatmeal cookie behind me. But as soon as I finish cutting up this ginger, I will acquire for my very own. and put in my mouth. Yes, prepared treats. Exactly. And I do love me a sweet and salty treat. That is my favorite kind of treat. So I was glad that I was able to convince Grog to go with the salty oatmeal because we debated several different kinds. And there's no like raisins or anything in it. It's literally just, you know, like sweet oatmeal, a little bit of salt. Good stuff. But yeah, she wasn't when we got she definitely does not do wedding cakes anymore. But when we first got married, I think she was just so desperate to quit her like full-time job that that she would kind of like do like anything anyone wanted. So we ended up with so she like there was no like cake tasting or anything. I literally was just like, make us a Bananas Foster wedding cake. And she was like, okay, how big? And I kind of told her like how many people it would need to serve. And she was like, okay, I've never done this before, but I'm sure this will be fine. Um, which from anyone else probably would have been like terrifying. But and she was a blogger. Which is how I knew her. She was a food blogger, like a recipe blogger before opening her business. Name's Jenna Huntsberger. She used to write a blog called Modern Domestic back in the early 2000s. All right, there we go. That was perfect. Look at that. Look at how perfect that was. Okay. Pixie says it sounds yummy. I'm supposed to bake oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, but I keep putting it off. I get it. I really need to like clean the inside of the windows in the living room. Like I don't know what it is, but like there's like nowhere else in the house, but like in the living room, the windows like get a little bit of condensation in them. All right, well, I'm gonna have to wash my hands anyway. So, sorry. I'm gonna have to wash my hands anyway, so I may as well just eat my cookie. It's been on my list since like Monday, and it's not really like hard. I just haven't done it. Wiggly says we didn't have a cake because Allison had been in pastry. She knew how much they suck to make and transport, and she didn't want anyone to have to do that. Your wife's name is Allison? My name is Allison, and it's spelled exactly the same way. Like my actual name. We don't really talk about that, but not because I'm like secretive about it, because it just doesn't come up. The venue had an ice cream bar option. That sounds delicious. Wiggly says, I remember when we were first planning, we were discussing no cake, and my mom's mouth hung open like, no cake? We knew we wanted cake. They are a pain. And we got married in a park. And we didn't want the cake sitting out in August heat for the entire duration of the ceremony before we got to the reception. And so after the ceremony, our friends came to the house where we had the cake in our refrigerator with we took all the shelves out of it and everything to fit the cake inside it, and came home, brought the cake to the venue. They said that was the most terrifying car trip they've ever had. And I was like, we appreciate it. Our anniversary is coming up. Yeah, it's the end of August. It's Labor Day weekend. So there's a poll in the chat for the best use for a baguette. The options are ham sandwich, wizard stuff, bring in, I think that's a pun, bring in the pan or pain, holding tiny things, or flotation device. Pixie doesn't love baking, but does enjoy consuming baked goods. Well, yeah, I think I love the baking part of it more than I even like consuming them, honestly. But I think it's natural not to feel that way. I forgot I've only ever referred to as my wife here, but yeah, her name is Allison. Yeah, and I don't talk about my name either, so why would it like come up? I don't know. Vixie says we did a semi-elopement for our wedding, so we just picked them up at a place local to the beach we got married at. Ooh, that sounds nice. I mean, like, I didn't want to elope necessarily, but we did want a very small, simple wedding, and it was kind of a struggle to keep it that way. So I do kind of understand why people do that. Okay. I picked my the wizard one, but I really wanted a sword fight. Pixie says I use mine to paddle my kayak. Jane says I also have to go to a meeting. Oh no, no meetings. Bye, Jane. We'll see you later. Night Captain Andrew says the best use of baguette would be as a prop in every grocery bag you've ever seen on any TV show ever. Yes. That's probably the winner. Yeah. Pixie says I gotta go, but I'll probably be back before stream is over. Okay. See you later, Pixie. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Okay. I need to take an ad break. It's already been snoozed. But I'm gonna finish eating my cookie. Eating cookies while making cookies is kind of wild. Okay, so those of you who are subscribed, you're going to see some clips for about 3 minutes. Those of you who are not subscribed, you may see some ads depending on your other subscriptions and where you are in the world. The way that we do things here is that I won't do anything while you're gone. I'm just going to go back there and sit on the couch with the dog. You shouldn't just sit here either. You should go refill your water or make a snack or take a stretch break, or I don't know what you do, but anything that you can do in 3 minutes would be a good thing to do now so that you're not having to watch ads. I will see you back here just as soon as may be. Be right back, guys. I need to refill my water, but that seems like so much work. Jane, you are an adult and you can make your own decisions. And if you think you need water, then you can go get water on your own time. I'm Jane, my love, my dear, please go get more water. How's that?
Well, indeed.
Stick with me, and you'll
All right, that is.
You'll never go hungry again. I especially like white chocolate, like in things. It's kind of just like extra sugary creaminess that's hard for me to object to. Byron, you are not putting canned whipped cream on anything. I started to say anything of mine. I backed myself into a corner here. We're not talking. Like there's
there's an aspirational quality to what I do here for most people, right? Most people not baking a cake from scratch every 2 weeks, like most people not spending 3 hours making their dinner, right? Part of that is that like the interaction between me and you guys takes up a lot of time, and I don't have a problem with that because that's literally what I'm here for, and I have time, and so why not? But person to send me more condiment packets is getting banned. Do not do it. Do you see my face? My face is utterly serious. No more condiment packets. There. Oh, a pupper demands a hug. Wait, are we supposed to hug pupper? Wait.
I got the bottom half. I got the bottom half.
We gotta get closer to the camera to hug pupper. We love you, pupper.
There we go.
I think pupper wants us to hug each other.
Oh,
there. That's easy. That's easy to do. Corey hugs are just as satisfying as one might expect. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. If we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? It's been stuck in my head all morning, so why not? Let's go. Hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. We are expanding the neighborhood. Food fun friends are food. Wait, no, friends are not food. Yes, Mel says friends are fun food. If you're out there eating your friends, I just hope you have consent. That's all we need there. But like making like a pudding base for this was so weird. They're great. They're so good. So they're Hi, I'm back. I heard the Hades one where I'm squawking like a bird in panic, like a panicked bird. Wiggly misses Mr. Rogers. Yes, kind and gentle and generous man who encouraged us to feel our feelings and think before speaking, and that's just good for everyone. Firewalker, hi, how are you? Wait, are you not still streaming? I was watching you. Where are you? Yo, you're not still streaming. Hi, you raided somebody. You rated did you rated a Fortnite girly? That's fun. Okay, I think I can close that tab now. I was looking at your stream while I was getting set up. But hi, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. Yes, it was a lot of screaming. I tend to panic a little bit. Remember how I was saying the other day how one of my biggest like hurdles in Fortnite is actually like stopping breathing. Like when I get stressed, I stop breathing. And then it's like hard to do anything, right? It's hard to aim, it's hard to think, it's hard to do anything. You just kind of have to keep breathing. Yeah, well, we'll get there eventually. Okay, so we are working on our cookie situation here. I've got molasses butter stuff in there. And now I need, hold on a second. I got the egg, chopped ginger, and then fresh ginger root. So I need to grab my ginger paste from the fridge. I hope there's enough because we're also putting ginger in the chicken marinade. Lassie says breathing is good. Breathing is life. Yes. Agreed. Whereas Leah's brain goes, breathing's boring. Okay, stir in flour mixture with a wooden spoon. Yeah, we won't be doing that. We're going to use the mixer because, yeah, why do we need to do it with a wooden spoon? That's silly. The mixer's already dirty. Why would I need to dirty a wooden spoon? We're not going to mix in the flour all the way. We're going to mix in the flour part of the way, enough of the way. That we can scrape down the sides of the bowl again and add the rest of this ginger. Right, like that. Do you see how that is? See, there's a bunch of unmixed flour in there. Maybe you can't see how there's a bunch of unmixed flour in there. You can actually probably see it in the big camera more than in the little camera. Okay, so, yeah, there's just a bunch of unmixed flour in here, but that's what we want because we don't want to over-mix these, especially because the recipe is asking us to mix this in by hand, and we are being lazy and not doing that, which is fine. We have enough experience to know when we can break the rules. But the reason I'm doing that is that I have additions here, which are the half cup of chopped crystallized ginger that we chopped up, and then we need a tablespoon and a half of fresh ginger. I have a strong suspicion that I don't have quite that much, but we're gonna do our best. So that's half a tablespoon. And it says it wants a tablespoon and a half. So that's 1 tablespoon. We may end up having to sub in. Here we go. Oh no, I think it's gonna be okay. We'll probably have enough for the chicken. That's good. Let's go back in the refrigerator. But then we're gonna also need more ginger paste. And that's much less of a pain for me than fresh ginger because I can just keep it in the fridge. Okay, mix all of that in. And then we're going to go ahead, scrape all of this down. Do. Yeah, I think saying earlier is that Firewalker rated another female Fortnite streamer. I think I've met more female Fortnite streamers since following Firewalker since like literally. I mean, I've been following Fortnite streamers for how long? But like most of them have been dudes. So this has been kind of fun. Okay, so Wiggly's is one of the local breweries just adding their Oktoberfest beer on tap, manifesting fall. I'm torn. I'm torn about the whole like seasonal change thing, right? Like on the one hand, guys, it's heckin' hot. Like I need to get some exercise, and I would really like to go outside maybe and be able to roller skate and do other things outside. I would love that for me. The problem is it's really hot. And so yes, fall. Also, Pixie and I had talked about maybe going for a hike. Same thing. It's like we can do it, but it's so hot that it's a hard thing to want to do when I think it's going to be 93 today. That's so hot. Where is my bees wrap? Because we're going to use that for this today. Oh. We're going to do this. Actually, let me just push that down so that it doesn't touch the thing. There's no reason for that. All right, and then we're gonna do this. Lassie says, let me get this straight. It's hot. It's hot! It's heckin' hot. Wiggly says it's actually cooled down today for once after over a week of heat advisories. Yeah, we've been having a bunch of heat advisories too. And like it's just so hot. I really don't like it. Like I don't mind, like I feel like 85 is okay. Like even up to like maybe getting to be 90 is okay. But like it gets like much hotter than 90 and I'm just like, why? Why are you like this? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just like kind of over it. But also, as I've gotten older, I'm aware of the phenomenon that is easy for me to fall into, which is essentially wishing my life away. And I don't know if this is like a normal stage of life or if this is just a me thing, but while I would love for it to be less hot, and while I absolutely adore fall, I am increasingly aware that I need to find the joys of the time that I'm in, and not constantly long for the future because my future continues to shrink. Which is probably weird and morbid and not like a thing that everyone thinks, but that's where I'm at with it. Okay. Oh, why is the freezer open? There. Okay. So now we let that sit for 2 hours. So at 2 o'clock, 2:15, Jesus. Guys, I tried so hard and yet. Okay. So, we're gonna do the chicken wings. I am gonna wash this knife though, because it's got crystallized ginger all over it, and I'm gonna probably need it later. So let me just wash and dry my knife first. Okay. Wiggly says, "Wow, that was deep." I don't know. And this is not a new thought, right? Like this is not a today thought. This is like a thought that has occurred to me routinely over the course of the past, I don't know, couple of years. Is this genuinely a unique thing? Is this like not a thing that other people think about? Is this not a thing that other people get preoccupied with? Is this something I should discuss with my therapist? Okay. Sorry, I'm also washing off my my cutting board here because it got crystallized ginger gunk all over it. All right, there. I don't actually know that I need this for anything other than like I just dumped my measuring cups on the floor for like maybe cutting up green onions, but I don't think I'm even gonna do that until it's time to eat. And we're not gonna eat these now. I'm making these for dinner later. Okay. All right. So, mix the marinade in a bowl until dissolved. So let's grab a bowl. We need honey. It's supposed to be light and dark soy sauce, and I don't actually think I have light and dark soy sauce, but the original recipe said that you can substitute. Oh no. Oh dear. We may have a problem. We may have insufficient soy sauce. Let's see. I think I also have some fancy soy sauce in here. I do. Let's see if I have a backup soy sauce. For a while, we had a really astonishing amount of soy sauce. And it appears that we have burned through our soy sauce backlog, which is both terrific and problematic because I'm not sure I have enough for this recipe. Well, we'll see how far we get. We'll see how far we get. Because I'm supposed to use 5 tablespoons of light soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. And instead I have kind of like this much, which is like not that much. And then also this soy sauce, which is like our fancy like ramen soy sauce, but it's still soy sauce and we can just buy more. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're close. We're close. That's almost 5. And then I just need a little bit more of this one. And then this one. And I think these are all, I don't know that these are like light or dark. I don't know. I'm not super well conversant in soy sauces. I have to rinse that out. All right, but that is the sufficient amount of soy sauce at the very least. And that means that I also need, what else did I say I needed that we were running low on? I need ginger paste and soy sauce. We're just running out of everything today. Okay. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar or other clear vinegar. Well, why wouldn't I use rice vinegar? Oh, which we're also low on. Isn't that fun? 3 tablespoons. I'm actually just going to grab my thing out of the sink here. 1. And like a half. Okay. Yeah, so also rice vinegar. This is so funny, you guys. You know what's weird is that I go basically like weeks without having to add anything to the grocery list because most of the time we get almost everything from the farmer's market and from Misfits Market. And so we just kind of like, things just kind of replenish themselves. And yet here we are, having to add a bunch of stuff to the list. Okay. That is 1.5. So I'm going to have to add some additional, but I guess we can add apple cider vinegar. Seems like kind of a weird thing to use, but that was what the original recipe called for. So whatever. Okay. And then 1 large garlic clove and half a tablespoon of canola oil. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, I have vegetable oil, and I'm just going to eyeball this. And the reason that I'm going to do this is the same reason that I sprayed that, measuring cup when I dealt with the molasses, because the honey will slide out easier if this is oily. And I need 4 tablespoons of this. Why does it have me do it that way? Why wouldn't you just do a 1/4 cup of honey? I guess maybe because it assumes you've got your tablespoons out to measure the other ingredients. But then you have to deal with getting the honey out 4 times instead of just once. I don't know. I guess fewer dishes, but also like a longer period of time having to deal with getting honey out of a thing. I think I'd rather just wash another dish, frankly. Yeah. I feel like I think I would just... Personally, I think I'd just write this so that it's just like a 1/4 cup of honey. Because, like, this is a pain. And, like, there's going to be enough honey in the bottom that it's going to actually make a pretty big difference. Like, you do kind of have to scrape it out. Like, I feel like that's going to be up to, like half a tablespoon's worth of honey stuck to the spoon. Night Captain Andrew says I can never use up a whole thing of honey before it solidifies. Really? I bought this one at the farmer's market like a couple of weeks ago, and it's almost empty. You can't really tell that it's almost empty because, you know, but like it's almost empty. No, I just meant that like it called for 4 tablespoons, but like I think I would rather just deal with it once and just use a 1/4 cup because it's the same amount. Why would I use? I think it's just trying to keep you from having to like wash one less thing, but like what's the point? All right. Okay, and now I need a clove of garlic. Yeah. You've never had that happen to Honey Lassie? These are small. I think I'm gonna use 3 of them because they're small. It like crystallizes? Really? I've definitely had that happen. I don't know like under what circumstances that is, but I've definitely had that happen. No, I knew exactly what he meant. The like I don't know if it's like a humidity thing or what, but like it's definitely a thing where like you can get like the honey crystallizes. You can microwave it or like gently microwave it or like put it in hot water and kind of remelt it. Like that's definitely a thing. But yeah, most of the time I don't really have any trouble using it up. I also put it in other things. Like I put it in, like, I mean, obviously I use it for like marinades and salad dressings and stuff a lot, but also, I use it in my yogurt. I get plain Greek yogurt and put honey in it to sweeten it. So I don't really like plain Greek yogurt, but I like to eat it with granola. So I'll put honey in it, which is what I've done with most of this particular jar of honey. But yeah, we'll have to get more of that at the farmer's market this weekend. There's still a fair bit in there. It takes forever to kind of get out. I'm going to put it upside down. I'm going to put it back up on the fridge. Oh, wait, there's already one in here. There's a whole other grocery store one here. I want the local one. Oh, well. That was very impressively whiny. All right, so now, whiskey whisk. Make sure all the honey is dissolved. Hey, Captain Anders says, I guess I only use honey when recipes call for it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think because like when I would eat, I used to eat oatmeal. We've been putting maple syrup in it for a while. But like I used to put honey in oatmeal. I guess it all just kind of depends on what you gravitate to. I feel like a lot of people would just use like regular sugar for salad dressings and stuff, but for some reason, I just kind of tend to gravitate to honey. So I don't know. Just whatever your set point is. All right. Marinade for 30 minutes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab a freezer bag. it is very specific about supposed to use a freezer bag for this. It says you get better coverage on the wings. I think I have a timing problem, friends, because our that took like 2 seconds, and our cookie dough has to refrigerate for like the next hour and 45 minutes. So I feel like I have somewhat failed. Hold on a second. Let me, I'm going to do this over here just so I can like do it over the sink. Because they're farmer's market chicken wings. And they're in just kind of like styrofoam packaging. And I don't want them to drip all over everything. So give me just a second to deal with this. They're still quite cold, but they're not frozen. All right. Yeah, they're very, very cold though. They're still a little bit, you know how they can stay kind of a little bit icy? They're a little bit icy. They put them in the refrigerator to thaw overnight. It clearly took just a little longer than I was expecting. But they're going to be in the fridge in a marinade for 30 minutes, and then they cook for an hour, so that's gonna be fine. So most of the time these days I fry chicken wings, but I liked the look of this recipe. The only thing that kind of messed me up with it was that I kind of, so I was kind of looking for a recipe that was going to be like a honey soy garlic thing, right? Like I had just kind of a vision. And so I pulled this recipe. The thing that kind of threw me off though is that all of these recipes basically have you bake the chicken wings for like an hour, which seemed like a long time to me. Like, do they really take that long? Like at 400 degrees? Like, I feel like I wouldn't usually bake chicken for a solid hour? Like, really? Like, I feel like chicken thighs, for example, you're only going to really need to for I don't know, 25, 35 minutes? And chicken wings are a lot smaller than that. So like the timing on this struck me as weird, but like the recipes are very consistent. They pretty much take you like, 45 minutes to an hour to bake the chicken wings. So I'm kind of thrown off by that. All right. Then we're going to mush this around a little bit. And then I'm going to put these back in the fridge for 30 minutes. And then I'm not entirely sure what to do with myself because, that's kind of all I had planned. Firebot suggests I might have laundry to switch, which is actually incorrect. I did laundry earlier. I think I will want to roast a sweet potato, which I guess I could do now. But like even that's not going to take me that long. Can we do like, all right, here's what I'm wondering. I wonder if we can do like a 5 spice kind of situation. Spice. Sweet potato. Wedges. Roasted sweet potatoes, Chinese 5 spice powder, olive oil. Creamy mashed sweet potatoes with Chinese 5 spice. Wait, what? Okay, that sounds interesting. Do I want mashed sweet potatoes with wings? I mean, maybe. Oh, I need 3 pounds of sweet potatoes. I only have 1 sweet potato. That's not going to work. How are they creamy if there's nothing creamy in it? There's only orange. These creamy mashed sweet potatoes with Chinese 5-spice are a great healthy side dish to serve with chicken and pork or to serve as a side dish for Thanksgiving. How are these creamy? Sweet potatoes, coconut oil, garlic, grated ginger, 5-spice powder, 1 orange zested and juiced, and 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. I'm confused. I think we're just going to roast them with 5-spice powder, is I think what's going to happen. Ash says, I thought my body was mandating a nap, and then we didn't actually sleep. Stupid body. Yeah, stupid body. Ooh, wings. I'm starving. I might get Wendy's. You should get Wendy's. 4 for 4, baby. Wait. Hold on. Let me go to Twinkies. Let me go to Twinkies channel. Hold on a second. Don't order Wendy's yet. I'm going to give you a hack. Do you know about hacks? Do you know about the Twinkies hack? The Rotten Twinkies? Wendy's hack? I think I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed to do this because I'm a sub. So I think I'm going to be able to type in his chat. There it is. All right, hold on. I got a thing for you. I have a hack that is apparently like the most food for the least money. Oh, you're going to stop at the one near your work, not order? I think this requires the app. I think this is like a thing that you like need to use the app for, is my understanding. All right, so let me grab this. Start with this. Save it for later though. Yeah, this is apparently like advanced Wendy's strats. I've eaten at Wendy's precisely once ever, and it was like a week ago. But then again, I don't really eat fast food, like any kind of fast food ever. I don't have attitude about it. I just don't. It was never a part. It was never a factor of my childhood, and I tend not to think of it as an adult. Like, and I don't really know why. I just don't. So the other day when I was like starving and driving back from my hair appointment like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I'm starving. And I drove by Wendy's and I was like, oh yeah, I could get Wendy's. That's a thing people do. People get fast food sometimes. Why don't I get fast food? And it was surprisingly good. I was pretty impressed. I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of the Wendy's food. Ash is probably because you have taste and value your health, but I'm feeling lazy. No. I think for the most part, it's because like I've kind of internalized the we have food at home mindset, which is to say that like I already like I know I have the things that I want to eat at home, and so why would I get food out? I will occasionally get Taco Bell, like once every, I don't know, 6 months or something. But yeah, no, for the most part, fast food is just not, it's just not a thing that occurs to me to get. And that's the big thing. It's not that I think of it and reject it. It's that it doesn't occur to me. It's kind of bizarre, especially since Wendy's is literally probably the closest thing to my house in terms of like an actual fast food restaurant. All right. Let's set it. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to set a timer. I want to set the oven for 425. See, you guys, here's the thing. Like when I'm not being bombarded with chat messages, I am actually very efficient. Like, look, it's been like seconds. And we've gotten the chicken into the marinade. We've gotten our sweet potatoes done. We're just like, now we're cooking. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray these with olive oil. We're not really using a recipe here. I'm just roasting sweet potatoes. It doesn't really require a recipe. And then, like, where's the 5 spice powder? Here it is. I'm not entirely sure how much. Start with 3/4 of a teaspoon, since that's what I happen to have handy. That looks like too much. Maybe we'll go with maybe more like that much. You can kind of overdo it on the 5 spice. So yeah, I think that looks good. And then some salt. Also good for your wallet. That's true. Pleasantly surprised describes Wendy's. It's still not great. Though I have to say, I was gonna get a baked potato because I saw that they had baked potatoes. But then I was too hungry and wanted to be able to eat it in the car, and so I ended up not getting a sweet potato. But at some point, I want to get a sweet potato. I mean, a baked potato, not a sweet potato. The sweet potatoes are what I'm doing now. But like, are they good? Because I feel like a baked potato is like one of those things that actually is pretty easy. I mean, making baked potatoes is pretty easy, right? But like the whole process of baking them, they take forever. So like, like that might be a thing where like, there's kind of not really a lot of ways, except unless you add a bunch of toppings on top of it, right? To ruin the health of a baked potato. And so like, I'm intrigued by the concept of a Wendy's baked potato because they take forever for no reason. You just have to stick them in the oven, and it's like it takes like an hour, or if they're huge, like an hour and 20 minutes just to bake a potato. And you're not going to do one at a time, but like how many baked potatoes does one person need, you know? Yeah, so that's one of those things where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm intrigued by that. I'm intrigued by the concept of the Wendy's baked potato. Jane's back. Hi, Jane. Welcome back. How was your meeting? Water. Okay. You guys, I have nothing to do. I mean, I could make rice, but that would be another 5 minutes. James, this is fine. Just a little an all company financial meeting where the numbers go over my head. Boogie! Hi, Boogie! How's it going, man? I haven't seen you around in a while. What you been up to? Chimkin. Yeah, chimkin wings. Oh, I could do that. That's a thing I can do. I can put some foil on a sheet tray because we're going to bake those. We're going to bake those chicken wings. And so it will be easier if they are on an aluminum foil. Work. Yeah, you know, so I do see you go live many evenings in the morning at 6 a.m. when I wake up. So I know you've been streaming. I know you've been around. I just haven't gotten a chance to catch a stream because we are entirely at odds in our schedules. So how are things going? How you been? If you're working a ton, that doesn't sound amazing, but it is good to see you. It's good to have you around. And I guess I also used to see you like in the mornings anyway in Vital streams, but I don't think Vital's been streaming at all. I certainly haven't seen Vital streaming at all. Not for months, right? Yeah, always on late. Yes, missed you. I missed you too. We should play sometime. We should play sometime soon. How did you find this season? What have been your impressions? Oh, she's working overnight. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, so I figured it was probably a schedule thing, and yeah, that is right. I'm sorry to hear that. I completely lost touch with the entire Shinobi community. I mean, partly it's my fault, right? Because I didn't stay in the Discord. I ended my membership just because I wasn't really making use of any of the resources, and it seemed silly to kind of keep paying for it. But it sucks because it's a good community of really nice people. It's just that there's a lot of good communities of really nice people. And if I wasn't making use of the educational resources, it just didn't seem to make sense to pay for it. But like, it sucks because then I've lost touch with folks like you and Vix and folks like that. You've loved this season. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, there have been a lot of things that I've enjoyed about it. I will say, I didn't play as much ranked as I wanted to, because the beasts off spawn. I kept getting beasts off spawn, like folks attacking me with the beast off spawn. And it's like, you can defend against it if you've got mobility, you know, but like without mobility, you're just kind of like, you're a sitting duck. You're just dead meat, you know? And so that was frustrating from a ranked perspective. And then the birds too. The birds have just been annoying. It's annoying to hit somebody hard and go to push them and think you're going to get off a nice shotgun shot. And then suddenly you got birds in your face. It's just like, ugh. Anyway, Ashwinder says, what a mood. Maybe there needs to be fewer communities of nice people. No, that's not my point. That's not my point. It's just that I think, especially in terms of like Fortnite, right? It's kind of, and I think one of the reasons that I kind of gravitated to the community where I met Boogie is that not all of them are as moderated. Like, and a lot of them are full of children. And not to say that children are bad, children are great. I just don't, like, as an adult, I want to interact with other adults, and at an adult level, you know? And that's not always a thing in Fortnite communities. And so, and a lot of the Fortnite communities that I gravitated to initially are enormous, right? And they're enormous, they're family friendly, all ages, because apparently I can't say that. All ages like physically can't say it. All ages streamers in vast quantities that get very inane very quickly. And so if you want to have actual conversations about things, it's like hard, right? And so while I'm sure they're all lovely, wonderful, nice people, or will be in 12 or 16 years, like it took me a while to find other folks who play Fortnite, who are adults, who like to talk about things that adults talk about, you know? And it isn't all like, my mom's mad because I didn't do my homework. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I would like to empathize with you, but there's only so much empathy I have for that. Is that harsh? That's probably harsh. This is probably why it's good that I flipped over to being an 18+ streamer. Children aren't bad. They're not bad. They're just limited. Anyway, so like my point is that I fell in with Rotten Twinkies, and you guys know this because I'm on his stream team now and all that. But like, but the thing that I love about that is that even though he is an all ages streamer, I think for whatever reason, maybe it's just like he's a pretty intelligent player. Like he's not pushing people. He's not like pushing people for no reason. He's like a smart player, and it's clear that he's a smart guy. And he doesn't tend to rage. He doesn't have like these big outsized reactions. Like he's funny. Like he's a funny guy, but like he's not like one of these guys who's like constantly screaming, you know? Like he's got a good energy. He's got a good positive energy, but he doesn't have like an outsized energy, which I think is kind of like a popular thing in the Fortnite demographic, but like is not my thing. Anyway, so I think people who gravitate to him tend to be folks who are a little bit older, who take the game seriously, but not too seriously, you know? And so I've made a lot of really good friends in that space. And so finding that community kind of made it like less attractive to continue to pay for the other community that I was using for the same purpose. Boogie says, nice, congrats. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Didn't know he had a stream team. Yeah, he, I think basically the only thing he doesn't do anything like majorly intense with it. I think for the most part, he's just kind of, he's just like, he asks people who are like integral members of the community, like people that other people would recognize, so that we have people to raid into that are just each other. Do you know what I mean? So like when you kind of raid another member of the community, you know what you're getting. And a lot of the times I feel like in a community like that, you don't necessarily, like, even if you like somebody, you don't necessarily know just kind of chatting with them in chat that they even stream. And so I've met a number of people that I didn't even realize stream. So Buff Chech, I don't know who you guys, we've raided her a couple of times just because of timing overlap. Just a terrific streamer, just an amazing Fortnite player, so talented. Mostly plays Reload. She's, I think, on the West Coast, and she typically plays really early in the morning, and so it's a nice, like, person for me to raid. So, like, but, like, for the longest time, I didn't even know she streamed, because we were just in chat together, and because her stream times never overlapped with Twinkie's, she wasn't able to raid into him, so how would I know, you know? Anyway, it was pretty cool. It's been good. It's been good. I think, it's just kind of nice when, like, you get to raid people that you actually, you know, know and trust because of shared communities. Dropped her a follow. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, she's really lovely. And the other thing that I think is weird is that, for whatever reason, Twinkies seems to attract a lot of, this is a weird way to put this, obviously, because I've just said attract a lot of female gamers. Like, there's just a lot of women in his community. I think because he plays with women routinely. Like, when he does tournaments, half the time he'll play with Maddie NF, who I think everybody knows, right? But even though she usually plays builds, when she has to play a 0 build tournament, normally she taps him. And so it's one of those things when you see somebody constantly playing with women, you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to be accepted in this space. Do you know what I mean? And so that's pretty cool. It's a good thing. But yeah, other than the birds, I've really been enjoying this season. I love how much mobility there is. I was initially kind of like struggling a little bit with trying to figure out like the ARs, but I feel like anytime when there's a season where there's not a scoped AR, it just makes me a better shot, like over time, you know? It just means that like I have to remember, oh yeah, I gotta tap fire so I don't get bloom, and you know, which I should be doing anyway, honestly, even with a scoped AR. So it's just like, yeah, it's been really good. It's been like a good mix of skill building opportunities, and also just it's fun. Like the surf cube's just fun. That's just a fun item. Okay, so Ashwinder says, I know that from quad ball recruiting, if you fall below critical mass and you have a sausage party, recruiting can get hard. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily like a conscious decision, but like I feel like sometimes when there aren't any women around, you start to kind of wonder, why aren't there any women around? You know, like you just kind of start to wonder, you're like, is there a reason? And like, maybe you just kind of like fall away a little bit from that community just because you're a little skeptical, you know? But like, but yeah, so that kind of does make sense. Well, and also because, you know, same-sex friendships are still a thing, right? And so if you're a person involved in something, you're naturally going to get your friends involved. But, you know, most of us kind of have, you know, what same-sex friendships, right? Ashwinder says for sure, probably conscious or unconscious for different people. Yeah, and I think it's just, there's a kind of like different, like different circumstances. It's not just that one. It would be just like a lot of different things. Like I said, you know, people who would necessarily go to play things with their friends and whatever. Okay. I saw some random geek pop in who is lurking at work with work to do. It is good to see you, geek. I hope your day goes relatively well. I literally have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. There's nothing to do. I'm done. I'm done with everything. How long is it going to be for these? Just 10 minutes until I can put the wings in the oven. And then what time is it now? We're almost an hour in to our chilling of the ginger dough. Okay, so I think what we'll do is in 10 minutes, I'll throw the chicken wings on the sheet tray and we can put those in the oven. And then I'll start scooping cookies. And then by the time the chicken comes out, no, we're still gonna have to chill the, I don't know. I kind of messed up the timing today, guys, which I did, and I didn't mess up the timing like within stream, which is what happens a lot. I kind of messed up the timing when I considered which recipes to make. Oopsie poopsies. Well, I mean, we could play games. We could go back to the kitchen. We could go back to the sofa and play games. Because I feel like, all right, so if we were to do cookies should be scooped about, like if we were to do 2 or like 145, like that would kind of work. And if we were to do, and that would be, oh yeah, that would probably work. All right, that's not actually too much time. All right, well, okay, so instead of that then, let's figure out what else we actually have in here that needs like doing, because there probably are things. I have to just think about this. Well, I need my lunch, that's for sure. Maybe I'll make lunch. That's actually a great idea. Okay, all right, okay, cool. So let's just make lunch. I'm all out of pickled cabbage, which is sad face. That kind of was like making that dish. What could I use instead? I have olives, pickles. I don't know. All right. Okay. Jane needs lunch too. Isn't it early for you still? Oh, I guess not. I guess it's noon. I usually don't eat lunch until 1 o'clock, which is like kind of late, I guess. But I did have a snack. So what I've been doing for lunches lately is just kind of like making up a big batch of whatever grain I have in the house. So this is actually a mix of farro and quinoa. I don't know why. It was just what we had in the house and that sounded good. And so that's what this is. Which is nice because it's like a whole grain instead of like a white rice. And the quinoa has a little extra protein. So that's good. I'm just going to change the containers. So there's no reason for all of this to be in here. It's too big a container. And I could use the space in the fridge. There we go. Jane has been up since 4. Yeah, I would imagine so. It sounded like you were rather alarmingly awakened today. Just gonna microwave this. And then I've got some bell pepper here. I wasn't hungry last night because I had had an enormous thing of nachos at Dave & Buster's. And so I didn't make dinner. And so Grog made himself ramen for dinner because he was hungry. He used part of a bell pepper, which is great because I wouldn't have probably remembered that they were in there otherwise. I usually have a lot more like bits and pieces that go good in my little green bowls. I feel like this is like, it's insufficiently saucy. Oh wait, I know. I have hummus. I'll use hummus. mean, honestly, that's probably enough bell pepper for right now. Bogey says, I feel you, Jane. I'm always up around that time. 4 is too early. 5, 5 starts to feel like a more reasonable time to be awake. 6 is kind of optimal. Like, I don't mind being up at 6. Beyond earlier than that though, and I'm just kind of like, I know I'm going to be tired all day. James, this is just a little bit. Probably not as bad as the neighbor I had to wake up though. Oh no. Oh dear. I assume your upstairs neighbor. I don't know if these are washed or not. Just gonna wash them. Okay. And now this goes in here. Roast. Let's start with 15 minutes and see where we are. Sambar, hello. Good to see you. How have you been? I haven't seen you at all lately. Probably because Des has been off. Des has been off on vacation for so long. Well, first she had to like cancel some streams for like life stuff. They finally closed on their house and then promptly went on vacation. But the kids are starting back to school now, so, or soon, mid-August. So we'll things will get more stable soon. How have you been? Have you cooked anything interesting lately? Or have you been on vacation yourself? Europeans actually taking vacations, unlike us Americans. Jean says, yep, first time I've ever met him was at 5 this morning. Good morning, sir. Your bathroom is flooding my apartment. My God. What was the deal? Did you find out? Did you find out what happened? And then the little chicken packets I just get from Costco. Have you guys seen these things? They're these like, here, fully cooked chicken breast bites. They're so convenient. They're such, like, they're the perfect size. 24 grams, 140 calories, 24 grams of protein. They're just like 100 grams of chicken. And I just get them at Costco. They're so good. Jane says, I guess when they replaced all the shutoff valves yesterday, they broke something with his toilet and it started leaking. It's his second bathroom, so he didn't notice. Oh. That kind of makes sense. Okay, this is a lot of hummus. It's just kind of a lot of hummus. All right, well, it's okay. Was on vacation like every lazy French. Oh my God. I know you're being silly. You know I don't believe you're lazy. You work really, really hard. And then I got these little microgreens from the farmer's market. We're doing that. All right. Okay, so now that is the timer for the chicken. I have to spray this, cooking spray this. And then get the chickens out of here. Jane says what's weird though is that we have a room where the toilet and showers are, and then the sink is out in a little alcove in the bedroom. It was the light in my little alcove that was water falling, not the one in the actual toilet room. Okay, water is unpredictable. Water goes where water finds space to go. So, like, that's not that surprising to me. Oops, I just dropped my earbud. But I have to wash my hands first because I've been handling raw chicken. Okay, so one of the weird things about this recipe, and I had to read it really carefully because I was like, wait, what? What do you want to do? I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? Is that we're reserving the marinade. So we're saving the marinade, and then we're going to pour it on later. But, like, we're not going to pour it on, like, after it's cooked because I was like, what the heck? What do you mean reserve the marinade? I'm not pouring raw chicken marinade over my cooked chicken. Like, what is wrong with you? No, it's you continue to cook it. So it's actually not that bad. Oh no, we have to do an ad. Oh shit. Guys, an ad is starting. I'm sorry. We're going to take a 3-minute break. As soon as we come back, I'm going to stick these chickens in the oven and then we can talk some more about what the hell I'm going to do with this marinade. I'll be right back. I need to refill my water, but that seems like so much work. Jane, you are an adult and you can make your own decisions. And if you think you need water, then you can go get water on your own time. I'm all right. I am.
And I do have bumpers.
There's
I'm gonna
another
drop one, by the way.
medallion somewhere over. Ah! Yeah, everybody take 5. Today's advertisements brought to you by Swords. Swords for when guns are just too hard. There's a car down there.
Yes.
That's probably the medallion. Also, have we found out what those portals?
102? Yikes! I think it was even hotter in London than it was like in the rest of the country too. Oh! Nope, we're back in hype train mode. Stop! We'll just keep clicking the thing. Faces. Oh, Grog says we had a.
Don't shoot at me! Yeah, I knew that was gonna go poorly. I'm dressed up like a goddamn dinosaur, Brigitte. How is this a serious professional stream?
Oh, I mean, okay, fine. You got me there. You got.
I'll show you. Looks like a pretty good donut, right? Can you see? It's very donutty. Okay, y'all. That's the end of stream. See your way out. I'll end it at some point. Just, you know, I'm just gonna stand here and eat donuts for the rest of the night.
Time for my usual public service announcement. What would James Bond do? James Bond.
Let it out! Let the disco happen!
Thank you for the wonderful timing for that. As I was saying, James Bond would order shaken, not.
It's a good thing that I'm making this for me and my husband because my fingers are.
Welcome back, friends. Jane says, I wonder why it's not showing the ads today when I can usually see them. I don't know. I don't know why, and I don't know why they never show, like, why it never shows Grog ads. Like, ever. So I'm not entirely sure what Twitch is up to, but anyway. So this is just been my typical lunch lately, where I make like greens and some kind of sauce, whatever I've got. Whatever leftover vegetables I have. Usually I have leftover cooked vegetables, but I didn't today. So leftover raw vegetables it is. So when I was on the break, I did go ahead and put the chicken in the oven. It's gonna bake for half an hour, and then we have to drain off the juice, which I think is weird, right? And then we put the marinade on. So we're draining off one liquid and then adding another liquid. It's very strange, but this is what the recipe wants us to do, so we're gonna try it. Jane has me on her work computer today. I need noise canceling headphones for the industrial fan noises next to my head. So maybe that's why. Oh, maybe. Like maybe there's a setting or something. Work knows. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Okay. Sambar went on a culinary trip in the north of Spain and Portugal, learning local cuisine for 3 weeks. It was awesome. That sounds amazing. What did you learn? What did you eat? What was your... I'm sure you can't really pick one thing that was your favorite thing that you ate. But what were the top 3 favorite things you ate? What occurs to you first? Molly. Hi, Molly. How is human Molly? How is cat Molly? It's good to see you. I've actually had the opportunity to lurk a little bit with Celeste lately. I've seen you in there, but I haven't really said anything. Also, Alice says hi and she loves you. Yeah. Speed running. Go, Alice, go. Human and Cat Molly are both good. I'm so glad to hear that. Santa, hi. Hi, Santa. How's it going? How are you? I'm eating lunch while I'm waiting for things to be cooked. And Molly's eating dinner. Well, that's appropriate to the time zone. I just dropped Pharaoh all over the floor. I'm sure that's fine. Santa's good, just wasting Thursday away and chilling. How we doing over here? We're doing good. Doing good. I severely mistimed my efforts today. I decided this morning that we needed treats, right? So I was like, okay, we're gonna have treats. So I'm gonna do these triple ginger cookies. And then I had chicken wings in the freezer, and I was like, okay, so chicken wings in the freezer is good, cool, amazing. And pulled the chicken wings out last night so that they could thaw in the fridge. So I'm like, okay, so we're definitely having chicken wings. And both of them required refrigeration. The cookies required 2 hours of refrigeration. The chicken wings required half an hour of refrigeration. So we've basically just been standing here and bullshitting for like the last hour. Because you know me, completely incapable of yapping. Doesn't happen, ever. Sandbar learned to cook octopus and razor clam. And wine. You learned how to cook wine? Well, that is very cool. That is very cool. I would not know how to cook octopus or razor clam. And it seems like a really good thing to learn from folks who know what they're doing. I have had Spanish octopus at like tapas restaurants and stuff. It's always good. Green wine, Portuguese green wine. Vino verde. Exactly, Santa, exactly. Hey, Santa, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You're the only person in here who's going to care about this. And so I'm going to tell you, specifically you, that I am literally one match away. One single solitary match away from getting Lord Magneto. So I think we're going to play Marvel Rivals tomorrow. In our community hangout time on stream. I should have put more oil on these. They're looking a little bit dry. They're pretty much done, but I think I want a little bit more color on them. So let me just, hold on a second. Let me just get a little more oil on them. I don't want to drown them in oil because then they get oily. But, sorry, it's just sweet potatoes. I'm just roasting sweet potatoes. It's a thing I've done 1,000 times. I don't usually just roast one sweet potato, but that's all I had. So, that's what we're working with today. All right. Okay. Yeah, so heckin' close. Okay, work call. See you later. Bye, Sambar. Hopefully we'll see you back. See you back in Dez's streams sometime soon. We've missed you. She's playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and you will definitely enjoy that. Ash, this is that the game with this Emma Frost I've heard about. Oh yes, it's Ash. Did you ever play Overwatch? Yeah, I'm so close. I think of all of us that started playing Rivals together, I'm the closest to getting a Lord one. Our friend Mel, I know Santa knows Mel because we've been playing. They've been playing Helldivers together, I think, for a while, right? But Mel started playing before we did. Well, I mean, not before we did, because we started playing when we were open. But Mel was playing more, and we were only playing like maybe once a week, if that. And then just recently, I started playing it a little bit more. Santa says, I think I've only played Rivals like once in the past few months. I've been slacking. I don't know if I'd call it slacking. I mean, you know, had your mind on other things, more like. I mean, it's fun. I don't know that I would devote my entire life to it, but I think it's fun. Well, so Ash, it's basically literally Overwatch with Marvel characters. It's pretty much exactly the same. Like, some of the characters, they're not exactly one-to-one, like, comparison or whatever, but there are some, like, you can tell kind of, like, how they're going to play based on kind of what their powers are and how those would map to, like, Overwatch powers. So I just feel like, if you've played, so at least if you've played Overwatch, you're going to have a pretty good indication of how the game plays. It's a lot like that. And it's free. So, you know, if your work schedule allows it, you can come play with us. We do Marvel Mondays every Monday in Discord. And I think we'll play it tomorrow on stream for community hangout time. I am enjoying the current Fortnite season. I'm a little frustrated with the birds and the beasts. And it's a week to the next season. So I'm just kind of tired of it, you know, just kind of ready to move on. Like, give me something different. Give me something new. The one thing that I will say about the Marvel Rivals characters, as opposed to the Overwatch characters, is that the Marvel Rivals characters are a little more sexy coded than the Overwatch characters. I feel like the Overwatch characters, like, you got a hamster and a giant ball. You know what I mean? You've got like Orisa, who's like an enormous robot. Like, you've got like Farah, who's in full plate armor. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are not like, I mean, not to say that people don't like write fanfic and do things with Overwatch characters, but like, or draw art or whatever, but like, but the Marvel Rivals characters are all very, well, I put a picture of Luna's new skin because I bought it. Luna's new summer outfit. They are very naked. They are naked. Ashe is more sexy than the Overwatch characters. I feel like Overwatch design leaned into that. Oh no, Ashe. Oh no. No. Have you seen Emma Frost? Have you seen Emma Frost? She's in a leotard with those thighs. You cannot tell me that most people who look at Emma Frost's thighs are pretty much like crush me, mommy. You cannot tell me that is not what's going through most people's heads. Okay, I just yeah, Santa agrees. Santa's Rivals characters are very sexy, and it's not just the women either. Okay, so it's not even the women. It's not just the women. And Santa says, and then there's Jeff for balance. Yeah, because Jeff is so balanced that he's being banned left and right in comp. That's how balanced Jeff is right now. But I also know Diva and Mercy in the internet. I mean, yes, but like Diva and Mercy being sexy to an extent are all in players' heads, okay? But I'm sorry, Psylocke in a bikini, Luna Snow in a bikini, a literal, the only thing covered is her nipples. Ashe says maybe I should play now. Have I attracted you sufficiently to Marvel Rivals? You should at least watch it. Like, and like I was saying, it's not even just the women, okay? Because like the thing, right? The Thing is like made of what? Stone? I don't know what he's made of. Anyway, but they put him in a Speedo. In a black Speedo. That's all he has on. It's a black Speedo, and that's it. This is making Bella sound modest. Bella is modest compared to the Marvel Rivals characters. Venom has an emote that's twerking. I think of all of the characters, Venom is probably the one with the most fan art. I don't know. Is Venom male? I don't know. Is Venom, does it matter? I don't know. But yes, twerking Venom with cake is definitely a thing. Like Loki, the summer Loki is very naked. saying is, it's not a hardship to look at these characters. Bye, Lassie. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see ya. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure about Venom because he does kind of like, he has a gruff voice. He's like, "We are Venom," you know, and that could be mostly interpreted as more monster than anything else. And so I wasn't really quite sure if he had a specific sex. Ashwinder says maybe they'll use that for alternate art in the upcoming Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set. But okay. Ash says they actually didn't lean into that at all with Aerith and Tifa. Tifa is Final Fantasy, right? Is that right? I am not very well conversant in things. All right. There's lunch. I thought I set a timer, but maybe I didn't. I think these sweet potatoes are probably done though. Let's taste them and make sure they're good. No, Ashwinder, no. Tifa and Aerith are Final Fantasy VII. If you want Final Fantasy, ow, hot, ow, hot, ow, hot, ow. All right, if you want Final Fantasy, Ash, Santa's your man. Ignore that. Ignore getting over it. That was a special occasion. Santa is playing through all of the Final Fantasy games. All of them. One after the other. I am perfectly happy to watch Santa play through all of the Final Fantasy games. I'm enjoying it very much. I don't always chat, but I'm always in there, hanging out, lurking, watching, listening. And I am really glad that Santa's having such a good time with it. And I'm so glad that Santa has people to talk about Final Fantasy with, because I'm like, I love this for all of you. I love how much you love this, but it is definitely a game I will never play. Okay, Ash says if you liked Veilguard combat, excuse me, hiccup. If you'd like Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I know, but Ash, I don't pick games that way. I don't pick games based on a combat style that I enjoyed. It's just not how I play. It's just not how I pick games. We've talked about this. Jane says, "Hey Leah, just so you know, things fresh out of the oven are a little hot." Listen. Fine. Yeah, you're right. Okay, it probably should have occurred to me that I would burn my poor little tongue, but I wanted to taste it and make sure that it didn't need more salt before it cooled down. Now we gotta hydrate. Thanks. Thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. I didn't actually burn it. It was just hotter than I expected. Yeah, Santa's on Rebirth. Oh, you're waiting to play Rebirth. Okay. Ash says, so you don't like cyberpunk vibe with magic and writable birds. It's not it. That's not it. I don't like the art style. The art, okay, this is hard to explain. There are plenty of things that I will watch that don't have an art style that grab me, but like to play it, I have to be immersed or I'm just not going to be interested. You did follow though. You followed Santa? Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, Santa is absolutely delightful. Sorry, this is like Santa, plug your ears for a second because you're going to get very embarrassed here. But yeah, Santa is just kind of one of the kindest, funniest, just like welcoming folks that I think I've had the pleasure to meet on Twitch. He not only has like he has a vast knowledge of gaming. He's a very good gamer. Like, not that that's everything in a streamer, but because there are definitely people who are fun to watch who are not good gamers, but Santa is a great gamer. He's done like challenge runs on like Dark Souls games and stuff. He was doing a lot of Souls likes for a while before he got onto Final Fantasy. And I just have to say that, like, of the folks that I could think of to recommend to literally any person, Santa would be at the top of the list. Anyway, I told you to cover your ears, Santa. See, I knew you were going to say I was too nice, but I'm being exactly as nice as I should be because you're wonderful. Ash says you don't like the art style. Have you seen Aerith and Tifa? I'm not entirely motivated by sexy bits. Ashwinder. Jazzy, my immersion. Hi, Jazzy. It's good to see you. How's it going? Well, you are very welcome, Santa. It's interesting because, like, I feel like it's hard to recommend things to people, right? It's hard to recommend people to other people. Just because, like, everybody has things they like, right? Like, everybody has styles they like and stuff of different kinds of streamers, but like, I like, so like, for example, like, okay, so another really good example, right? So Firewalker, right? He was in here earlier. I was lurking in his stream earlier. A similar vibe in some ways. I would say he's not as funny as Santa is, but don't tell him I said that. But like, he's calm, he's kind, but he's very, very knowledgeable about Fortnite. And a lot of the time we spend talking about Fortnite. So if you're not interested in Fortnite, like, that's probably not going to be a stream for you. Do you know what I mean? And I think he would say the same, right? Like, if you're not, all he plays is Fortnite. So if you're not into Fortnite, probably not your guy. But Santa, I think, could be anybody's guy. Hi, Brig. Welcome back. Thanks for adding that quote. I love you too. Ash says Aerith is a pure sweet bean of big-heartedness. How dare you stereotype me and my straight dudeness? Leliana is the most romanced Dragon Age Origins character. What do you mean stereotype you and your straight dudeness? Ash says Tifa is sweet too, but yeah, she's got the big sexy bics. You can stereotype me. You would think it would be Morrigan because Nakey, but no. Morrigan is too much woman for anyone to handle, apparently, or for the vast majority of Dragon Age Origins player to handle. Briggs is the fists, right? I don't know. All right, so I pulled out those. My chicken is cooking. Yeah, so this looks about right. This is so weird. Like, I did not think it was going to take an hour for this chicken to cook, and 100% it is. Also, we're having a massive thunderstorm right now, so if my power goes out, my apologies. Ash says I would have thought Alistair. I mean, maybe among the dudes, maybe among the guys, but I think Leliana's the top romance choice. I wish Des were here. I'm pretty sure that Des is the one who told me that Leliana was everyone's top romance choice. Like statistically, like as far as like game statistics go. Wait, you and Jazzy are on the same wavelength? Oh, wait, okay. Jazzy says I love Tifa and not for the sexy bits, though admittedly she is gorgeous. Yeah, the only character in Final Fantasy I know is Tifa, and I have a strong feeling that it's because of the sexy bits. Because I've had pictures of her shared before. But I don't know. I don't know. Not grabbed. Not grabbed as like, I gotta play that. Do you know what I mean? So like Natalie, our friend that Natalie, okay? Natalie constantly plays games where I'm like, what? This looks like so much fun. Okay? So like I feel like Natalie and I have similar tastes, except that right now Natalie is playing, well, she was playing through Bloodborne. Is it still Bloodborne? I can't remember. I will probably never play that. but like a lot of the time, like the things that I play, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Natalie played this. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, she's doing like a Souls game or something. Yeah. See? Jazzy says, I want to be super nice and cool and badass enough to topple men with a single punch. Wait, aren't you? Aren't you, Jazzy? I think you are. Ashbinder says maybe it's Alistair in hardcore fandom because it seems more femme, but it's also very queer. I don't know, maybe I just hear Alistair most because that leads to interesting world state stuff. So most people who write fanfic are female. And whether they're writing het fic or queer fic, Alistair stars in a lot of it, you're right. But statistically, in-game choice-wise, I think it's Leliana. And I think it's Leliana because dudes. She's doing a Souls game now or something. Yeah, well, the last thing that I saw was her birthday stream, and she was doing a bunch of different stuff there. And then, let's see. Briggs says, I don't know about men, but Jazzy once punched me. It was the best day of my life. Jazzy punched you? That doesn't sound like Jazzy. What did you do? Jazzy says most male players would probably choose Lely, and most female players that decided to romance one of the girlies probably also chose Lely. Yeah, I think that. So obviously Zevran was my first choice, and I think I was headed for a Morrigan run, on my second time through the game, and then the entire thing just bugged out, and I gave up, and I've never played Dragon Age Origins again since. Ash says this is illuminating. I think Veilguard is Nev and Lucanus. I'm not that surprised by that. I mean, Nev you meet first. Lucanus has the tall, dark, and handsome brooding thing going on, right? And so like there's that, right? Got the torturedness that us BioWare fans love so much. But like, I romanced Tosh. That was the only one who I kind of like immediately gravitated to. Davrin, though, I mean, I guess, but I feel like I don't know. I felt like it comparatively, right, to especially to Lucanus. Davrin's kind of simple. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got kind of a simple story. Lucanus is complicated, which is also part of the reason why he might be difficult to romance, because like you may just be cut off from it, right? But I feel like in terms of the level of angst, like I feel like Davrin doesn't bring as much of the angst as Lucanus does. DA2 is DA2 Anderson. I actually don't know. I don't know what DA2 is. I actually don't. I have no idea. I romanced Fenris. He comes with a pet. I say this is someone who romanced Lucanus. There you go. See? He does come with a pet. That's true. So we're just dating people for their griffins is the bottom line. Ash says I just saw someone finish DA2 for the first time yesterday and they romanced Anders and it was a great day. Interesting. Ash says Davrin, I know, is least romanced, probably for the same reason Will is. Who's Will? All right, I'm gonna get cookie trays. All right, that is our chicken wing timer. Hang on. We're getting there. Why is it that I stood around and talked about BioWare romances for like 20 minutes and now suddenly I have 30 million things that need to happen at once? How? This is unfair. Don't forget Isabella. Fenris and Isabella probably. Will is the protagonist of BG3. Oh, no wonder I haven't heard of him. So it was actually kind of funny. So for the longest time, I actually have no interest in playing BG3. It's just not my kind of game. It's too big. I like a feeling of completion. And so I was never attracted to BG3. Open world games and I are not friends. So I'm draining off the liquid here because that's what it tells me to do. And then I add more liquid. So that's bizarre. We add the reserved marinade. So this had raw chicken in it, which was initially quite concerning, until I realized that I'm supposed to put this back into the oven for another half an hour. So it should be fine. Let me wash my hands. Hold on. And then I'll get back to you guys. I promise. We can continue to talk about BioWare romances. I just need like 2 minutes to do cooking things. Like what? Cooking? This is a cooking stream? Who said this was a cooking stream? This isn't a cooking stream. This is a video game romance discussion stream. This is a BioWare romance tier list stream. Sorry, I just have to make sure that the marinade is actually like coating these. And then I'm supposed to baste them every 10 minutes. So. Okay. Cool. So now we can scoop cookies and talk about BioWare romances some more. All right. Okay, Davern is actually not least, though he is lower. Emmerich, I think, is lowest. Interesting. Okay, so after Tosh, I haven't played another playthrough of Veilguard yet. Okay, I need a scoop. I need a smaller scoop than that. I don't need. That's too big a scoop. Hold on a second. I know I said I would stop ignoring you guys as soon as I grabbed the stuff out of the fridge, and then I lied to you. I am the world's least trustworthy streamer. Where the hell is that scoop? Oh, here it is. It's in here. Okay. Will is a companion in BG3 and a black guy and not giving content or marketing. Okay, that seems unfair. Ashwinders says, Leah, I will never understand your interest in games. Love D&D, which is also huge. Don't want to play BG3. I don't like open world games. I didn't get along with Skyrim either. It's not just that. It's that every time I've played an open world game, I've gotten confused and annoyed and wondered why there wasn't any plot. BG3 is open world, isn't it? Briggs is someone who's been running D&D for like 20 years. BG3 is different. Yeah. Mom, hi. Sorry I missed most of your stream. I blew the time difference. I mean, that's okay. You know, that happens. But like, also it was like 7:30 a.m. when I went live. Why would you be on Twitch at 7:30 in the morning? I don't. How big a cookie am I supposed to be doing here? How many cookies is this supposed to make? 1-inch balls. Oh, okay. Well, so probably flat scoops is what I'm looking for here. Jazzy says BG3 is very daunting. I would call it semi-open world, probably. Okay. So maybe it's just big. Ash says I've yet to play BG3. Oh, okay. Well, then we won't do any spoilers then. I don't actually know any spoilers, but other people might, because everybody else in this chat I think has mostly played through it. Brick says it's more noticeable when people come from BG3 to TTRPG. What do you mean by that, Brick? I'm intrigued by that statement, and I don't know what it means. Jane says I got so overwhelmed with BG3. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think I would have a similar experience. Like, this is how I felt with Skyrim. Like, I lost track of the main plot in Skyrim, and I didn't understand that the journey was the point. And I kept looking for a destination, like how Dragon Age has a destination. and it took too long to get to the destination, and I lost the plot. I lost interest. After 100 hours, I put the game away and never picked it up again. BG3 is in the queue. I figured. But it seems like the kind of thing that you'd want to stream. I actually feel like the way that you do that is, like, it makes sense, just because, like, this way you'll get a lot of people in who are wanting to relive the magic of BG3 for the first time, and then you'll play it on stream and everybody's going to be like, oh my god, it's my favorite character. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I'm so excited you finally met them, you know? It'll be good. Ashes, I feel like DA might be well distributed in romance interests. Fandom might lean heavy soulless. Fandom definitely leans heavy soulless. I actually don't know who most people romance in DAI either. I have absolutely no clue. I mean, I'm sure they've published statistics on it. They've definitely done it for DAO. Because that was definitely, like, not an impression thing. That was, like, a numbers thing. Mom says I was looking forward to watching it. I've been up since 6, so I certainly could have been here, though I did get a lot of work done this morning. Well, that's good. At least you got a lot of work done. So sorry you missed a lot of our fun. I mean, I've been mostly just yapping, because, weirdly, I severely mistimed this stream. Like, I was talking about earlier that I just, like, when I chose the recipes, I didn't, like, think through the fact that, like, I was gonna have, like, an hour and a half of nothing to do. I don't know. In my head, making the marinade was gonna take longer than it actually did. Jazzy says I never get past the first part of it, and it took me, like, 60 hours. Very overwhelming. You're talking about Skyrim? Yeah, I don't know. Jane says it's got my motion sickness bad. By the time I realized I could switch the POV, I was over it. You can switch the POV. It's from first to third or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't do it for me. Nightcap Andrew says, have you tried Neverwinter Nights 2? Spiritual forefather to BG3, smaller area, still a pretty long story, especially for a game of its era. No. I don't know. It's actually, you know, it's hard to say, right? Like, no, and I haven't tried it. I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. I wouldn't necessarily rule anything out. But when it comes to games, I think for the most part, I don't know how to describe my taste. It isn't just like the game being too big is an issue for me. It's there's a lot of things. Like I've said, so I like a consistent, strong aesthetic in terms of art style. Like a very I like things that are like a recognizable aesthetic. I like a self-referential good humor in terms of like plot and dialogue and stuff. Or like in the case of Fortnite, like just like the absurdity of like Ariana Grande, you know, shooting Godzilla and then pulling out a BTS song emote. You know what I mean? It's just it's so silly, you know, but also has kind of a high skill ceiling. So I love that. Yeah, so I don't know. It's really hard. It's hard to say in terms of games, like what's going to grab me and what's not. Like I loved Venba, I loved After Party, I loved Lamplighters League. All of those things, though, I would say have a pretty strong and consistent aesthetic. You know what I mean? Although I don't know that Venba had a lot of humor. It was mostly pretty serious. Brick says, thank you. It has definitely been a bookmark day. Jazzy says, I believe Solus is first, then my boy Cullen. Oh, yeah, Cullen. That doesn't surprise me. You think it's Solus, though? Interesting. I mean, that is what I started with. I started with Solus in my first playthrough. I was an Elven Mage, and I was like, oh, well, this seems like a good Elven Mage route to go for romance. I don't know, who is this guy? And then I was like, after I punched Solus for being soulless, I romanced Cullen. So that's actually my canon. Is Solus is an ass. I'm gonna go date Cullen instead. Mom says I can watch it later, but I enjoy the real-time interaction. Me too. I post my VODs to YouTube, and I don't think anybody's ever gonna watch them. Like, I post them in full. Because, like, everybody's like, oh, you should edit it down and just show the cooking part. And I'm like, that's impossible. Like, it's impossible. There's no way to encapsulate just the cooking part in my streams. There's no way. There's no way to do it. I don't care how clever an editor you are. I would have to film this content entirely differently in order to make some kind of a recognizable cooking YouTube video out of it. There's just no way. So I just put it up as a VOD. It's fine. Ash says, I think my interests have recently shifted more towards the journey and immersion rather than the destination. That's why I love DA2 and I'm curious about Star Wars Outlaws. I don't know what Star Wars Outlaws is. I don't know what kind of game that is. Jazzy says BG3 actually. Sorry for lack of content. No, it's not your fault. I'm just behind. No, you're totally fine. Jane says, yeah, you can change to third person, but I was already sick and a little confused. Maybe I'll try it again sometime. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people really love it. And I just think I basically, my problem with Skyrim was that I went into it having finished Dragon Age Inquisition, played Dragon Age Inquisition to death, like 1,000 hours death. And then I was like, okay, I should probably look for another game to play. And when I was like, can you give me something that's like Dragon Age Inquisition? And I went looking for recommendations. People were like, well, there's not really like a direct comparison. Like there's not really anything that I could really say is exactly like Dragon Age. But you could try Skyrim. And so I did. And so I kind of went into it, even with that cautious recommendation, knowing that it wasn't going to be exactly the same as Dragon Age Inquisition, like kind of looking for the magic of Dragon Age Inquisition. And it's just different. It's a different kind of game. It's not got the same level of writing. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I loved the most about Inquisition. Horizon Zero Dawn is huge. That's true. No, you're right about that. And Horizon Zero Dawn is actually one of those things that I actually would be interested in playing. And part of it is the humor in it, right? Like part of it is the humor. I mean, it also has like with the machines and all that, and like the post-apocalyptic setting has what I would call kind of a distinctive aesthetic, which is another thing that I really love. It's just that thus far I have kind of started Zero Dawn and like tried to play it, but I struggled a little bit with the gameplay. I'm not so much of a like melee person, and so I think I just kind of have to like, I would actually have to sit down and actually play through it, and I've just kind of only ever like tried it enough to get through the tutorial. And then of course, you know, you put the game down, you promptly forget everything you learned in the tutorial. So I've got to actually like commit to it is the thing with Zero Dawn. Jazzy says, I feel like Solus might not have been everyone's first choice, but once they learned the importance of it, it became the most popular. Interesting. Ash says, I dated Josie. We went to being friends and my Inky is just single. Ash says, wait, maybe the timeline doesn't work. I was wondering if I could headcanon my Inky with Balara because I was also really like Balara, but canon is Nev. What? Molly heard Skyrim. Guess what I'm playing right now? You're playing Skyrim. Stairs and over 4,000 hours of Skyrim. That's the thing. Like people who love Skyrim really, really love Skyrim. And I think that's terrific. It's just not me. You probably have 1,000 mods too. Or 4,000. Jazzy had a fun moment where I was talking about my game knowledge being mostly surface level, except for a game like DAI. Then as I'm playing Lies of P DLC, I'm like, why does this character sound like my Inky? And behold, it was. That makes sense. Okay. That one is going to be slightly large, but that's all right. Okay, I have to baste my my chicken wings, but I have to wash my hands first because there's cookie dough all over them. It is still thundering outside. This is wild. I can't see shit. I feel like the way to do this might actually just be to like flip them, but this is fine. We're trying to do sticky glaze thing. Okay. All right. I'm probably gonna have to wash that pastry brush before we get to the next 10-minute mark. Okay. I can't read. I can't read without my glasses. Okay, Jane says Horizon Zero Dawn is another one I've started but not finished. Horizon's so good, yeah. Molly has over 2,000 mods. Yeah, 2045. Oh my god. I actually just put some screenshots of it for Alice and Celeste's chat. That's fun. Yeah, so our friend Solaria Plays had also kind of gotten very into Skyrim modding. And so that was fun. I watched her play Skyrim a lot. And as a result, she sometimes would get raided by a Pathetic Wolf, who is an early morning British streamer, who started out, as far as I know, at least all I ever saw, was doing challenge runs of Skyrim, like permadeath Skyrim runs. And so that was fun. So I've watched a lot of Skyrim. It's another one of those things that I don't mind watching. Like, I love watching it, but just playing it myself just didn't do it for me. Oh, Discord, not chat. I'm not saying it that way, Brigitte. He's British. I don't know how else to describe him. English? He's English. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do my pastry brush. So and I would say probably, even though Iron Bull is my favorite character in Inquisition by a long shot, he's not my canon romance front. Like, not my canon romance. And I would say I really like my first choice, like, as a choice, because I think it gave me a character who felt much the same about Solas as I do, which is to say, hopeful, skeptical, disappointed. And I think that's like a reasonable approximation for what you get when you play through Veilguard with the choices that I made, which I'm not going to talk about because not everybody's finished Veilguard. But like, from my perspective, that was like perfect. That was like ideal, right? But the thing is, I don't typically romance Iron Bull because I like him with Dorian. And so typically I will be off with Cullen, looking longingly at Iron Bull and Dorian's budding romance. Why is Brig throwing foam microphones at Molly? Ashwinder says I was happy. Oh, right, because audio. But we're not having audio issues today. We don't have audio issues as much as we used to, thankfully. Ash was happy to watch Date Everything, but I don't need to play. Yeah, right, yes, because audio. Yes, because audio, obviously. Okay. 2 inches apart onto ungreased baking sheets. Okay, so I don't know exactly. I feel like this is gonna be good, and we can do like this. Probably will be the correct number of cookies per tray. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. All right. And then we'll do those here. And then I'm just going to grab one more tray just because then we'll be able to like actually put them all in the oven at the same time. I may regret my life choices there, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Mm. Mm. All the cookies. And then these cookies. This cookie. Okay, actually, so I should be able to just do... maybe we'll do that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's so weird. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. All right, so we are going to do it this way. There we go. Now that's like an even, I guess, correct number of cookies per tray. There. All right. I'm actually kind of surprised that we're not like rolling these in anything. Like, really? Like, shouldn't they have like turbinado sugar or something? Flaky salt? I don't know. I feel like they should be rolled in sugar. Maybe I'll just sprinkle them with sugar. Okay. Sorry. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. We're not having audio issues because Molly's never here. That's why, of course. Jazzy says every time I play DAI, I will romance someone else and ends up with the desk scene. How did this happen again? You're like Dez with like our friend. You're like Dez with you know Dez. You're like Dez with Blackwall, but with Colin. What? Jane would like 10 cookies, please. Okay, all right, cool. Brig will never stop sipping her tea, judging Jazzy for that. Jazzy says, listen, I may be gay, but I'm a sucker for the hetero golden retriever energy. What can I say? The world's saddest golden retriever gets me every time. That is so funny. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Cullen that like doesn't... Like, I mean, like, he's fun, like, I romance him a lot, right? But, like, or like, he is my canon romance, like, but, like, I don't have the level of affection for him that you do for him, or that Dez does for Blackwall. I'm sure it says something weird about my psychology or mental health or something where my very favorite character is the one that I never romance because I prefer him with someone else. So yeah, I'm just gonna sprinkle these because it doesn't say to put sugar or anything on them, but like I feel like this is gonna want this for texture, so we're just gonna do a little sprinkly sprinkle. Ordinarily, this kind of cookie I would roll them in turbinado sugar. And I think that would be better, but this is what we have. And because this is the first time I've ever made these, I don't want to like try to change them too much because sometimes if you put sugar like this, they'll spread too much. And so I don't want that. I should have just refrigerated that whole tray, honestly. Because now they might, because they were supposed to be in the fridge for like, they said 2 hours to overnight. But whatever, it's fine. Okay. Ash says I'd love to romance Meryl, but I doubt I'll ever get around to doing it. Briggs says, to be frank, I think Jazzy is right. Don't tell her I said that. Okay, I won't. Ash says I don't get it about Cullen either. I'd romance most guys before Cullen. Brig wants to ruffle Cullen's hair and play fetch with him, so it's accurate. Oh my God. Okay, so guys, we have 1 more minute left. I'm gonna baste the chicken, and then I think we've got like another 10 minutes after I pull the chicken wings out before we will have cookies. So we are closing in on the end of our time together, but first I have to run an ad break. I'll be live for at least half an hour, probably longer, honestly, past that. So that'll be good. But for those of you who are new here, every hour I run an ad break that's 3 minutes. I take a break. You should also take a break. Go refill your water or get a snack or take a stretch break or do whatever you need to do that takes 3 minutes rather than stand here and watch the ads. I'll play clips for those of you who are subscribed, and we will see you guys back here in a few.
Yeah, you can finish chewing. Let's see if I can do this. Tilt your head back. It's like whipped cream, baby bird. Except it's frosting. What are you doing? What are you gonna do? Or energy drink? Yeah, something plain like vodka. There's gotta be something though. Now I gotta taste it. Like licking a battery, but in liquid form. JG says vanilla vodka may work. Oh, and JG's an expert, so JG's opinion I would take. I don't think I have any vanilla vodka, but I do have a vanilla liqueur. I think I got some liqueur 43. 100.
Can I angle the camera just a little bit? Look, this is the basil. This is my hand. Okay, this is my hand on a 10-inch chef's knife, which is almost like it's a big hand, okay? Look at all of this basil. It's so much basil.
I'm sorry. Can we just like turn off the camera for a minute? I have a moment alone with my burger. Definitely doing this again. I had no idea what gave it that distinctive flavor was the grilled mustard.
You could maybe do pumpkin spice beans on toast, and I would eat it more readily than I would eat Heinz beans on toast. Like, I would eat it and probably enjoy it. Because sometimes, like, if you were to roast, like just think about it. Like, if you roast butternut squash, right? Like, you can roast butternut squash with, like, cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, allspice. Like, and there's no, I mean, you could also put brown sugar, of course, and then that would be good, too. But, oh. You absolute gremlin! All right, fair. We're doing it. Potato. Dirtle says I have no idea if it would be good. I just wanted to say potato tomato frittata. You just wanted to make me say potato tomato frittata. Dirtle Birtle. It's a bread end party. I don't even put anything on it. There's no butter or anything. It's just so fresh. They just baked it today. Welcome back, friends. Good to see ya. Let's see. Briggs says I want to ruffle Colin's hair and play fetch with him so it's accurate. Also wants to know if Jazzy wants to hear what she told Seabells about Cullen. Cullen is a soft mask them's be in. Okay, I can see it. Okay, I see it. I don't remember you telling Katie that, but that's really funny. It fits, honestly, yeah. And yeah, so spoiler, that thing that I said I was gonna do, like, I don't know, like practically 3 years ago at this point, like because I feel like it was like in the first year of my channel, right, where I did copycat In-N-Out burgers. I've never done it again. I've never done it again. I totally should. And I'm like, oh, I'm definitely doing this again. I've never done it again. Of course, in fairness, we don't eat that many burgers. Like I tend to, like if I'm going to have a burger, I tend to eat it out. I tend not to make it at home. But like, I should totally do it. And I've never done it. La. Hi, Jane. Hi. I was not here for that. No, you weren't. It was in the first year of my channel and I hadn't met you yet. Or maybe I had met you, but maybe you didn't know that you'd met me. Because I feel like that first year was when I was like getting, when I first, like, because I feel like, I can't remember, how did I meet, I'm trying to remember how I met Lollyrocks. I know it had to have been Stardew Valley, but I don't know if I was just like randomly cruising Stardew Valley streams and found Lolly, or if someone raided into Lolly, or if Lolly raided into me. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that went down. But that's definitely how I met Rhubarb, and Rhubarb is definitely how I met you. So like that much I figured out, but like I don't remember where I met Lolly. I miss Lollyrocks. She was so good. God, she was so funny. Cruising the Celtic accents tag. That's true. Lolly also had a great voice. Lolly is Scottish and has a tremendous Scottish accent. She's so funny too. God, she's so funny. And Rhubarb has a lovely Irish accent. And I do just, you're right. I enjoy listening to both of them. But I think it was more the raid thing, right? I think the thing that happens is that UK morning streamers would frequently raid into me, a US afternoon streamer, like your US morning streamer, US afternoon streamer. And I feel like it was just more the timing than anything else. Rhubarb is from Irish. Yes. Rhubarb lives in Scotland, but is from Ireland. You could tell by listening to her. Of course I know you would be able to tell. There's no way you're confused about that. But Rhubarb is definitely Irish. I think her husband might be Scottish. I'm not sure, but I know they definitely live in Scotland. Maybe Jane knows. Jane knows things. Jane's smart and informed and knows stuff. I think actually at this point I've done all the Dragon Age Inquisition romances. I think I've done all of them. I think I finally did Bite the Bullet and romance Sarah. I think I made it as antagonistic as possible. I think that was a rogue. I think it was an elven rogue. And so she wasn't like the most elfy, but she was still a little bit elfy. And I feel like a lot of the time Sarah didn't like her very much, but still wanted to we'll say date her when we know really what we're saying, really. Why Sarah was making that decision. She's very pretty. Yeah, I deliberately kind of set up a frenemy kind of a relationship because that's kind of how I feel about Sarah. I know Sarah is some people's favorite character, and I just could never quite wrap my mind around her. So I had to wrap other things around her in order to get, from here to there. I redeems 2 truths and a Leah. We're not doing that. He's Irish too. Wait, he is? How the hell did they end up in Scotland then? Look, Jazzy, I had to headcanon it, okay? I had to headcanon it because I have never once played a character that didn't respect elven traditions. I have never once played an Andrastian of any kind, and I just don't understand how one would do that. And I don't understand Sarah's beef with literally everyone because I don't have that much beef with the universe. And we're just not suited. But I wanted to romance her because I wanted to romance all of them. You mean take to Pound Town? Yes, Ashwinder. Yes. Yes. They had a relationship purely based on physical affection. In my head. I mean, not in, you know what? We're just gonna, okay, I'm gonna move on. Versus the burden of a completionist. The burden of a desperate person who had not at that point discovered Fortnite yet. and thus didn't have that many games that she knew she wanted to play, but still wanted to play a game. So this was a pandemic thing. So here's what happened. When the pandemic happened, when lockdown happened, I rediscovered video games. I had played through all of the Dragon Age games in like 2015. So like when Inquisition came out, I had a friend who was like, "Oh my God, you should play Dragon Age Inquisition, but you should really play the first ones first." And I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever." So I did, and I enjoyed them, and I loved Inquisition. And then I played the Inquisition to death, and I had a friend who was getting into Stardew Valley at that point, and so I bought Stardew Valley because it was cheap. And it sounded fun, like farming simulator. That sounded like fun, right? But that was a little bit too much like real work for me at the time in 2015 when I was actually working, you know? And so I was like, this isn't doing it for me. But then we moved to London and I didn't bring my laptop. And so I didn't bring my controller. I did bring my laptop. And I didn't play games again until 2020. And then when lockdown happened, the first thing I knew to pick up was Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm like, I haven't played this in like 5 years. That would be fun, right? And I was like, so what could I do that would be new? Sarah. Sarah was new and I could do her. So that's what we did. And then I went and got obsessed with Stardew Valley, and that's what led me here to Twitch. So now you guys know. Okay, Ash was just making sure. Yeah, because I was real subtle about it. It was unclear. Brig says, you know, a character is annoying when it takes a global disaster to get you to consider smooching them. Yes. Yes, it took a global disaster to get me to consider smooching Sarah. You are correct. All right, guys, this looks good. These look good. Okay, so what I will say is that like the like glaze of them is still a little liquidy, right? And so what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to let it cool. And I think I'm going to let it cool, right? Because it will thicken up a bit, I think, as it cools. And then when I go to put them away, I think it'll be good. So here, let me show you. So here's what they look like. They look, it's so weird how that camera makes things look a little burnt. They're not burnt at all. They're just like, they just have little crispy, they have like a little tiny crispy edge on them, which is perfect, I think, for a wing. So that's great. Those are done. And then let's go ahead and set this to 350. And then we're going to put these in the oven, bake in preheated oven until lightly brown, about 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to cook 2 of these trays at a time. I would do a third one, but like I have my, actually, you know what? I think that'll still work. Let's do it. There. This is probably going to take longer than 10 minutes with 3 trays in there, so I'm going to just set it to 6 for right now. Noob! Hi, Noob! Good to see ya. I was actually literally just standing here wondering, I wonder where Noob is. I wonder how Noob's doing. I don't think I've talked to you since Monday. This is what happens when Des doesn't stream. What the heckies? This is unacceptable. We should play some Rivals or something tonight. Oh, wait, we can't. Brig has stream. Shit. Shit. Well, the usual when I'm not here, drinks at work. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying your drinks at work. I mean, I realized obviously that like I started stream at 10:30 this morning, which is the middle of your workday essentially, right? Or like the tail end of your workday maybe. But like you don't usually show up anywhere until like noon, you know. So like I knew that you weren't going to be here right away, but like I knew that you'd be here eventually, right? Yeah. Because you just get off work and then you go have drinks and then you come here. But yeah, I actually was thinking that like, I think within the context of trying to figure out, within the context of thinking about how much I miss Des, part of the reason I miss Dez is that there are people that I only see in Dez's streams. Like Sambar, right? So I see Sambar most often in Dez's streams. Although, as it turns out, Sambar wasn't around because Sambar was on a 3-week vacation in Spain and Portugal. I want to go on a 3-week vacation to Spain and Portugal. Sounds amazing. Okay, Brig, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? But yeah, like, it's just like we're missing like a key component of our social time. Where the hell is Dez? 31st of January. I need your name, Brigitte. Do we want to go with Brigitte? Or whose name? What are you talking about? You wanted to start with C. All right. C is for Cookie and also Brig's friend who's getting their unicorn name. All right. Here is my unicorn name generator that I got off the back of a box. Lisa Frank Slice and Bake unicorn cookies like 3 years ago when they were on sale after Easter, so you know this is real. Your real, actual unicorn name. For C, whose birthday is approximately the 31st of January. Your unicorn name is Galloping Star. Galloping Star. Guys, speaking of unicorns, Fortnite finally put out some shoes that I kind of want. I have successfully... Cullen is a unicorn. Because Cullen is off in his own little world, except when Bull and Dorian want a little extra company. And Galloping Star is his unicorn name. Still fits. But guys, Fortnite released Llamacorn slippers. Here's the thing that I didn't realize when I was talking to Brigitte about this last night, about how much I kind of want the Llamacorn slippers. I don't buy shoes in Fortnite. This is my line. This is my line in the sand. I refuse. I'll buy outfits. I'll buy emotes. I'll buy the, you know, the passes and stuff. This is all I will do. I will not buy shoes in Fortnite. The Llamacorn slippers are testing my resolve. Right, especially because I won V-Bucks from a friend. A friend was having a streamiversary and I won Fortnite V-Bucks. And so it feels free to me in my head. I know I have free V-Bucks, and so I'm thinking Llamacorn slippers. Anyway, I don't buy shoes in Fortnite. However, yesterday I had said to Brigitte, the thing is, like, they look kind of stupid. Like, they're kind of too big for the character. Like, they're kind of too big looking. They kind of look stupid. They're not proportional. Right? That's girl math. It's free money. Exactly. It's girl math. It's free money. Exactly. That's exactly what's going through my head. My stupid girl math head. Anyway, so these Llamacorn slippers, I noticed right away that they have a contrail. They have like a little unicorn rainbow contrail. So as you're running along, you're trailing this little rainbow trail behind your feet. And I'm like, that's fucking adorable. But I don't buy shoes in Fortnite, okay? I just don't buy shoes in Fortnite. And then Rotten Twinkies went live. Fuck Twinkies, you know what I mean? Come on. Anyway, Twinkies got them, presumably from the Epic Partner Program, because, you know, they give him free stuff. Anyway, he realized, or somebody in his chat realized, that when he would land, like his little character would jump and then land, that it made rainbow cloud puffs. It makes rainbow cloud puffs. It not only has a little rainbow contrail, it makes little rainbow cloud puffs when you land. And so he deliberately was like jumping up and down while looking down. Like his character was jumping up and down looking at his feet. And I was like, I wish I didn't know it made rainbow cloud puffs. My resolve was being severely tested before I realized that it also makes rainbow cloud puffs. I'm like, I just can't. I can't. But like, here's the thing, Jane. They're 800 V-Bucks. There are some outfits that are 800 V-Bucks. Like a whole friggin' outfit. And these are just the shoes. I don't know. I object. I just object, you know? Oops. Hang on. I kind of messed this up. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to set this for another 6 minutes. This is why I don't buy shoes in Fortnite. And those aren't even the most expensive shoes. Like, the actually branded ones can be like, you know, like 1,800 V-Bucks. It's so stupid. Briggs says, you're a little rainbow cloud puff. I'm not a rainbow cloud puff. If anybody's a rainbow cloud puff, it's you. So there. Constantly full of rainbows. This is like not your, this is like yo mama jokes, but rainbow cloud puff jokes. The stupid shoes. I want the stupid shoes. It's so annoying. I'm probably going to get the stupid shoes, even though I think they look kind of terrible on the character that I want to put them on. Rainbow cloud puffs. We have like 6 minutes until these cookies come out of the oven. What can we do in 6 minutes? Brings this a fact universally acknowledged that that a single woman of good fortune is in want of llama corn Fortnite slippers. Yes, that a woman in possession of V-Bucks would be wanting for unicorn slippers. Yes. I understood the reference, believe it or not, because it wasn't to like a current anime. It was to a book that was probably written in 1820? Something like that? Do I have my timeline right on Jane Austen? Noob says for half a second, I thought the 6 minutes was referencing the Battlefield 6 reveal. I'm sorry, what? It was to the second. What? Ashwinder is rushing to work, but this convo is hilarious. Okay, go work, Ash. We will miss you. We love you. We hope you have a good rest of your day, and hopefully we will catch you again sometime soon. Oh, Noob says now in 5 minutes, Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal is happening. What is Battlefield 6, Noob? Is it fun? Can you shoot dinosaurs? That's what I want to know about every game now. If you can't shoot dinosaurs, I don't want it. No, we have 6 minutes until cookies, Noob. Cookies. Cookies. Cookies are way more important than video games. I don't think you can. So cookies take, this is what I'm saying, right? Yeah, cookies take priority. Like, if we can't shoot dinosaurs, then I want cookies. What is Battlefield 6, though? Out of curiosity. Because I probably need to find some things to play that aren't Fortnite. Because honestly, there are times when Fortnite makes me want to scream and throw things. Okay. Ultimate all-out warfare experience. This looks too realistic. Not enough K-pop dances. So I want to be able to shoot dinosaurs, or I want K-pop dances. And if either of those things are not true, then I'm probably not going to play it. Okay, Jazzy says I would like cookies while playing video games. Oh, see, you know, I knew there was a reason why I always thought Jazzy was so smart. And this is pretty much it. This is why. Cookies while eating video games. Noob says the Battlefield series is a chaotic first-person shooter, historically with large groups of people in different classes and a lot of chaos. Think Call of Duty with tanks and planes. But it does sound like something that, well, no, see, weirdly, actually, somebody mentioned something in, I think it was in the Planesmeld Discord, where I ended up sending Grog off to download it. Something was free, and it was a tactical, strategic warfare game. What do you call those? Like a thing where you move little armies around on the map, but like it's not like live action. You like it's like playing a miniatures war game where you like move the little battalion and then you put a little other battalion and then there's a hill and you have to figure out how to get the battalion up to. Do you know what I mean? Briggs says, Jazzy, you play lots of multiplayer games and he wrecks. My multiplayer gaming is not very diverse, though I will say Peak is very fun and funny. During a grand strategy. Yeah, real-time strategy. That's what Grog likes. He has like 10 of them, and he's played them to death. He likes the Warhammer game a lot. I don't understand that at all. Like, I've watched him play it, and I'm like, I don't understand why this is fun. Why do people like this? And he's like, you don't have to think it's fun. I think it's fun. And I'm like, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad for you. I'm glad for everyone. But yeah, real-time strategy. Yeah. That's what he calls it. He has a bunch of them. So if you guys ever see free real-time strategy games, send them to Grog, because that's what Grog likes. Ha! Timer is done. Stop that. Okay. These are looking a little softer than I would typically think. Perfect. But, hold on. Do I have a smaller ring? I feel like this ring is a little large. Sorry. That was my pastry thing. All right. Oh, wait. Here it is. Here's the one I was looking for. Ow. Ugh, no, that one's too small. Okay. No, we'll just use this. This is fine. I'm just going to ring these cookies a little bit because some of them are a little, no, I think these are good. I think these are good. I think these are done. I'm just going to edge some of them back into shape a little bit. Because, guys, I need to get my act together. Social media, right? You know how people are always saying to streamers, you got to post clips on social media. You got to post pictures to Instagram. You got to, because it works, you know? Here's the problem. They're right. It does. Those need to stay in for a little bit longer. And I don't take enough pictures of my shit, and I really need to. So, hence, trying to make the cookies pretty. Briggs does need to get Grog a copy of Age of Empires 3. I don't know what that is. I bet he doesn't either. Age of Empires. Age of Empires 3. Why 3? Is that a fun thing? Enjoy diverse civilizations, co-op historical battles, stunning 4K Ultra HD graphics, and modernized gameplay. Why is it $139, Brigitte? Oh, it's free. Definitive Edition is free. Why did Steam say it was $139? Oh, because the 25th anniversary collection is of all the Age of Empires games is $139. Got it. So the Definitive Edition Complete History Bundle is also all of the Age of Empires games. So, but the one you're talking about, the Definitive Edition, I don't know why you can play it for free and buy it for $20. Why are they listed for free and for $20? This doesn't make any sense. It looks ancient. Noob says, I loved Battlefield 3 and 4. They had a lovely combination of realism, chaos, and just shenanigans. You could put a line of C4 or claymores on the front of a Jeep, race right at a tank, and jump out at the last second. That does sound like chaos, yeah. Also, amazing choice. Team damage was off, but team physics wasn't. There's a legendary clip of people putting C4 under a tank, it being launched up and shooting an F-16 point blank. That sounds very silly. Okay, so that was a better selling tool for me than any of their marketing materials. Briggs says 3 is when video gaming peaked. Jazzy says, I feel like Age of Empires is a very recognized real-time strategy series. I would have to like look and see. How do we know? How do we know if he owns it? I should be able to like look at my friend's games, right? Grog is my friend. I mean, Grog is my husband, but Grog is my friend on Steam. So I should be able to look at his games, right? Games. Okay, so Age of... He doesn't have them. He doesn't have any of them. He has no Age of Empires games. Age of Empires 2 is the best AoE. How much? No, yeah, I was confused. I was just looking at the summary in the Google search. I mean, it wasn't like the AI summary. It was just like the Steam, like tag summary thing, and it said it was $139. But then I actually clicked on the page; it is free. So, Jazzy says to unlock all features of the game, please see the base game product. Free to play must not allow you to have access to everything. Oh, okay, but $20. That's hardly a huge investment. Noob says you can also turn on family sharing and even share games. Ooh, but then you have to play them like do you if you share games though, do you have to play like the cloud version? Do you know what I mean? Or can you actually have it like on your, can you like download it to your PC? Cuz I don't want to play cloud versions of things. My experience with playing on cloud versions of things is frustrating. There we go. And now let's look at this one. You are a mess and starting to get overdone. This is like the worst tray, and I was neglecting it. Give me a second here. These ones got kind of melted together, unfortunately. So these ones will be our test ones. We will see if these are any good. I feel like I like it when molasses cookies look a little bit wrinklier than this anyway. Like, I don't understand why these didn't come out wrinkly. Like, shouldn't they all kind of be wrinkly? Like, I don't care for the aesthetic of this. We're all about aesthetics today. Hopefully they'll get wrinklier, as they said. These ones did. Those ones did. They're kind of thin, though. I mean, I don't know. I like thick cookies. Thick cookies. Noob says, no, you can download and play it. You just can't play it at the same time as the person you're sharing it with. Really? That's interesting. Although in general, I don't own that many games, right? Like in general, I don't own a terrible number of games. Actually, that's a good question. How many games do I own? Is there a way to find that out without like counting them? Profile. It says I have 56, so I have more than Grog. So in theory, hey noob. So in theory, Grog owns, I mean, not in theory, he actually does own Lego Horizon Adventures. And he enjoyed that very much, and I was kind of intrigued by the concept, but it's kind of expensive. Like, I don't know that I want to buy a Lego game. Yummy. Okay. This is still very hot. These are so good. These are so good. Okay, so if you haven't been following along, these are triple ginger cookies. They have ground ginger, fresh ginger, and candied ginger in them. They are brown sugary and buttery, and I like them a lot. It'll be interesting to see how they set up, because this is still quite hot, but I think they're going to be soft and chewy with kind of crisp edges, and that's kind of perfect. So, yay. Phew, they're very gingery though. Like so gingery they're almost spicy. You can feel the burn. Noob says, yeah, and if you set up family sharing, you can just download and play it as if it's on your own Steam list. How did I not know this? Who has been gatekeeping this knowledge from me? Did all y'all know this? What the heck? No fairs. Anyway, yay. Cookies, A+. I will take proper pictures of these at some point. Once they're actually cool. Wait, hold on. You guys can actually see them. So you guys can actually see. Look at them. They're like dark brown ginger cookies. Delicious. What? Okay, Jazzy says you can have up to 6 people in a Steam family, but once you join one family, if you leave it, you would have to wait 1 year to join a different one or create a new one. So they're actually trying to get you to only share with your actual family instead of your friends. But like, there are definitely people around here that I have probably chosen for life at this stage, right? Like these are people who aren't going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? So like, okay, interesting. Anyway, okay, so I think that's it. I think that's gonna do it, guys. So we got our chicken wings. Wait, did I show you the chicken wings? I don't remember. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Is it still hot? It's not that hot. Okay. Asbestos fingers for the win. But look, see? So they got, so the good thing is that like I said, the glaze, I was worried that the glaze wasn't going to thicken up, but as I said, like as it cooled, the glaze did thicken up. So look at how sticky these are. Ooh, yummy sticky. These are going to be really good, but we're going to have these for dinner. So I'm not going to have these now. Yeah. So I will let you know in Discord how they are, but yeah, the glaze got nice and sticky once it's set up. So that's good. And then the triple ginger cookies, and we'll make some rice later. And we have our 5-spice sweet potatoes. Heck yeah. Mom says, will you serve them cold or heat them up? I'll probably heat them up. Let's chuck them back in the oven. I think I'm probably just going to put them in one of the big, like one of the glass Pyrex containers. And then I'll just pop them in the oven like 20 minutes before we're ready to eat. Like not just enough to get them warm, not enough to get them like screaming hot. I want another cookie. I'm not going to have one though. I'm not going to have one. I'm going to save them and I'm going to take pictures. But in the meantime, I'm going to find someone for us to raid. While I do that, while I do that, thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me, especially through the lull of Leah didn't properly plan this stream and thus has nothing to do at 1 o'clock. and for all the lovely conversation today. Gosh, guys, that was really fun. The Dragon Age romance conversation is fun. I mean, we get to have those conversations in Dez's channel sometimes because obviously Dez has been playing through Dragon Age, but I don't get to talk about that very often. So that was a good time. I appreciate it. Okay, let's do some shout outs. First and foremost, for the moderators who were physically present in the stream today, including Jane and Brigged. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here and moderating. I love you. Jane, I hope the rest of your day is less wet than it started. And then for Brigitte, I'm not sure what Brigitte's going to, in theory, Brigitte would be streaming today, but Brigitte's had kind of a long day, so I'm not sure if she's streaming today or not. I don't know if there's something in Discord yet or what, but check the Discord for that if you are a member of that community. I'll just throw those out there. And then thank you to Grog and Dez, who I love very much but couldn't be here. Dez because she is on vacation, Grog because he is at work. The rest of my moderation staff is also lovely and wonderful. You should definitely give Dez a follow if you are into conversations about Dragon Age, because she's currently playing through Dragon Age Inquisition, which has been really fun. She's doing it as a rogue archer on Nightmare. And I believe we're romancing Blackwall again, is I think what's happening, because Blackwall is definitely her canon romance. So more Dragon Age conversation, head over there next week, because she should be back on Monday. I believe. I understand, hopefully. I could have probably asked before stream, but it didn't occur to me, so I don't know. I think it should be Monday, though. Monday at 1. Anyway. And then, my schedule. I will be live tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. I believe we're going to start with some Marvel Rivals. Those of you who would like to play, or perhaps if you've never played but would like to download the game and check it out, it is free. We are a very, very, very casual group when it comes to Marvel Rivals. I have put zero energy into learning Marvel Rivals. I have only the barest understanding of these characters, and yet I'm getting Magneto to Lord tomorrow, so that's going to be exciting. So after that, I'll probably play some bad DPS, and other people can play bad tanks and bad support, and it'll just be bad but fun. And then maybe some Fortnite if we get bored of Marvel. And then Saturday back in the kitchen. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to make yet. It's probably going to end up being something fishy. It usually is on Saturdays because we get to go to the farmer's market and we get to go to the fishmonger and pick up fish from the fishmonger. It's nice, fresh fish that I love a lot. And so we might do that. But just stay tuned. I'll let you guys know either tomorrow or Saturday what we're actually going to be making. All right, I'm going to push the socials button again because you can, in fact, follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Discord. I will definitely be posting pictures of the cookies on Instagram and Discord. Probably also on Threads and Blue Sky, but it's, I don't know, whatever. I have been very active on all of those platforms lately. It has turned out to be, hey, guess what? Kind of helpful. So if you're a streamer and you're neglecting your socials, this isn't judging or anything. It's just saying actually, how people say post to your socials because that shit works. Post to your socials because that shit works. Yeah, fish from the fish friend. Exactly. Precisely, Jazzy. Jazzy's got it. Yeah, so yeah, if you drop me a follow there, then I can find you back and we can follow each other, and that's going to be fun. But also, yeah, even if you don't want to follow and you're a streamer and you're not posting to your socials, why? Because it's good for you. Right. I actually need to scan who is live and playing or doing something that would be appropriate to the energy that we have been bringing today. Okay, here's the thing. Oh, guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay. You guys, I had an idea that I was going to go maybe raid somebody playing Dragon Age because that could be fun after the conversations that we had today. And I might still do that. But also I have a friend whose first affiliate stream is today. So what do we want to do? Do we want to go support brand new affiliate streamer who I will tell you is playing Marvel Rivals, which we were just talking about. So if you think you might want to play tomorrow, you could check out the gameplay there. Or do you want to go somewhere and watch somebody play Dragon Age? And in fact, you have your choice of Dragon Ages. We can watch Veilguard or we can watch Dragon Age 2. What do we think? What are we feeling? How are we, what are we thinking? Where's our energy? Where's the vibe today? Let me make sure that nobody's actually ending or anything before I start. Before I start offering things to folks. They've all been live for about the same time, I think. They've all been live for about the same amount of time, so they're all probably going to be going for a while yet. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? First person to shout something out gets to make the choice, because I gotta make a decision. It's time to go. Go, go, go. Noob says a tough choice. Marble sounds fun. Okay, we are gonna go see, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go see Safara 23. We're gonna go check out her very first affiliate stream. She just made affiliate. She's been streaming though with her husband for a while. On his channel, they were kind of a husband and wife duo, and she just kind of split off her own channel so that they can co-stream and do that together. So we're gonna go ahead and raid her. So let's go ahead and do that. But let's can we edit the raid messages? So let's do this. But let's do, hold on. I'm gonna do some editing here. Give me a second. To your first affiliate. Oh, it would be better if I spelled it right. Affiliate stream. Congrats. And then we'll do this one. For those of you who are subscribed. Sorry, this is taking me forever because I'm very slow. I'm slow at typing. Congrats. All right, cool. All right, so copy one of those last two messages if you would like to come along on the raid with us to see Safara. She is playing Marvel Rivals. This is her first affiliate stream. She's not a new streamer though, so we'll be in good hands. I hope all of you have a really lovely, wonderful rest of your day. I'm gonna go eat cookies and listen to Thunder. I hope all of you enjoy your rest of your week. If I don't see you, your weekend, if for some reason I don't catch you before the weekend, and we will hopefully see you back here sometime Friday or Saturday. Bye guys.